So 1 minute, I'm watching the world literally catch fire. Thanks, son. Real cool of you to just explode. And the next minute, I'm standing in tall grass like a confused Pokemon trainer without any Pokemon. A glowing screen pops up in my face saying, "Welcome to the ruins world. Good luck not dying," and hands me a crystal ball. Not even an instruction manual. Just 6 rules that basically boil down to: find shelter, everything wants to kill you, and oh, by the way, disaster hits in 3 days. Thanks. Very comforting. Back on Blue Star, our sun decided to go supernova, or whatever scientists call it when a star throws a tantrum. The rich people yeeted themselves into space on rockets. The rest of us got front row seats to the apocalypse. I was alone in my apartment watching civilization speedrun its own collapse. Then fire. Then here. I look at my crystal ball. Sorry, shelter core. And it says I can plop down a base somewhere. But once I place it, no takebacks. So I climb a little hill to scout around. Mountains with snow up north, endless grassland left and right, thick forest behind me, and a river sparkling in the distance. Real estate shopping at the end of the world. I've got 2 options. Build near the forest where there's tons of resources, but also tons of things that want to eat me, or hike to the mountains near the river where it's safer, but maybe less stuff to work with. I pick safety because, and this is important, there's no respawn button here. This isn't a video game. Or is it? Honestly, I'm not sure anymore. So I start running toward the mountains. I make it about 2 minutes before my lungs file a formal complaint. I'm a homebody, okay? My cardio experience is limited to walking to the fridge and occasionally sprinting to catch the bus. Running across an actual wilderness is not in my skill set. Along the way, I find a tiny wooden box. The system calls it a treasure chest. Wood, like this, is some RPG. I try to open it. Won't budge. Apparently, I need a key or something. Do I have to fight a boss first? I shove it in my pocket and keep walking because I've got bigger problems, like not dying before sunset. 3.5 hours of walking later. 3.5 hours. My legs are basically filing for divorce. I finally reach this sick cliff face. Straight up like someone took a giant axe and just chop. Flat ground in front of it. Perfect spot. I place the crystal down, back away, and watch a wooden cabin materialize out of thin air. It's a cabin. In the same way a cardboard box is a house. The walls have cracks wide enough to stick my fist through, the windows are just holes, and the roof has gaps so big I can stargaze from my bed. If I had a bed, which I don't. The floor is literally just grass and rocks. My new home, everyone. For walls and a prayer. But hey, the system unlocks some panels for me. Stats, chat, crafting, trading. And there's a world chat channel where all the other survivors are losing their minds. Some guy is celebrating being alive. Another one turned out to be from the VIP space evacuation ships. Yeah, even they got dragged here. Karma's beautiful. And someone's pretending to be an official telling people to make weapons. Apparently, everyone aged 16 to 60 from our whole planet got Isekai'd here. Every single one of us. Same crystal ball, same broke start, same, good luck, don't die, energy. 3 days until the first disaster hits. I'm a shut-in with 0 survival skills living in a cabin made of wishes and splinters. This is fine. Everything is fine. First thing I do in my new crappy cabin? Check the chat rooms, obviously. Priorities. The area channel has 997 out of 1,000 people. 3 missing already. Either dead or never showed up. Great start, team. Some kid named Xiaohua immediately declares himself the main character of this world. I am the chosen one. Destiny bows to me. Bro, 5 billion people got Isekai'd here. You're not special. Then someone tells him to get splashed with cold water, and honestly, fair. But then this maniac posts a photo of himself holding an actual fireball. A fireball. In his hand. Like a budget Human Torch. Turns out there's a talent awakening stone in the starter gift pack, and people are getting superpowers from it. I slam the chat shut so fast I nearly pull a brain muscle and rip open my inventory. Starter pack. Open it. Now, I get 7 days of food and water, a fire starter, and 1 talent awakening stone. The stone's description says it has a 50% success rate. 50. That's a coin flip for superpowers. I'm the kind of guy who loses coin flips professionally. In gacha games, I once spent 6 months allowance and got nothing but duplicates of the worst character. My luck is so bad it should be classified as a disability. But hey, new world, new me, right? I wipe my filthy hands on my shirt like that's going to help my luck, say a little prayer to Mother Blue Star, and use the stone. White light wraps around me like a warm hug. For a second I feel like I'm back with my mom, safe and cozy. Then gold light blasts out of my chest and merges with the white light, and both get sucked into my brain like cosmic spaghetti. Quick sad backstory moment. I'm an orphan. Lost both parents in a plane crash when I was 13. They were archaeologists. Got sent to an orphanage, became a shut-in, and basically lived my entire adult life indoors gaming and reading novels. The one thing I kept from my dad was this tiny jade pendant shaped like a little furnace, hanging on a red string around my neck. Birthday gift. Last gift ever. And now it's gone. Absorbed into the awakening process. But it didn't just disappear. It fused with the talent stone and gave me something unique. My talent? Synthesis. As in, I can summon a magic furnace and smash items together to create new items. One main material plus 2 to 9 supporting materials equals mystery prize. It could be an upgrade. It could be a mutation into something completely different. Basically, a real-life gacha system. The universe looked at my entire personality and said, "You know what this guy needs? More loot boxes." The system says this talent is one of a kind. Unrepeatable. Cannot be copied. If this were a novel, I'd be the protagonist. Xiaohua from the chat can sit down. Only problem? I'm broke. Can't synthesize air and sadness into a sword. Need actual materials first. I check my stats next. Physical constitution, 4 out of 5. Below average. My body is literally worse than a normal person's. Years of instant noodles, 0 exercise, and staying up until 4 a.m. finally showing up on my report card. The only stat above average is my mental power at 6, which the system probably credited to my marathon gaming sessions. Turns out pulling all-nighters is a form of training. Take that, doctors. My shelter needs 100 wood, 10 stone, and 1 iron to upgrade. I can craft a stone knife, stone axe, stone pickaxe, and a workbench. Welcome to the Stone Age, population me. I eat half a water bottle and some dry rations. Gotta ration this stuff, and stand up to head out. 2 treasure chests fall out of my pockets. Right, those boxes from earlier. Turns out the unlock condition was just having a shelter. Boom, 10 loaves of bread, 10 water bottles, 20 wood, 20 stone, and a fence blueprint. The fence costs 1 wood per meter. I'd need at least 100 meters to surround my yard. You know, that blueprint's going in the someday when I'm rich pile. I craft a stone axe. Looks surprisingly professional, smooth and sharp, way better than anything my clumsy hands could ever make. And head to the bushes to become a lumberjack. Spoiler, I am the worst lumberjack. 10 minutes of hacking to bring down 1 tiny tree. 3 units of wood. My hands are covered in blisters. My arms feel like overcooked noodles, and I have no idea how to swing an axe properly. I just windmill it like I'm fighting the tree personally. The tree fights back by being made of wood. I chop until sunset like a man possessed. 24 units of wood total. My arms have officially filed a restraining order against my brain. I drag myself home before dark because absolutely not am I staying outside at night in monster territory. The newbie protection means beasts ignore my cabin for 3 days, so even though my house looks like it lost a fight with a tornado, I'm safe inside. Last task of the day, I build the workbench. Wood and stone materialize into a solid crafting table right by the front door. Day 1 complete. I have a cabin with holes in it, blistered hands, noodle arms, a mysterious synthesis power I can't use yet because I own nothing, and the personality of a man who just discovered that trees are his nemesis. 2 days until the protection runs out. This is going great. My workbench is basically an IKEA factory. I open the crafting menu, and it's just furniture, bed, table, chair, bucket, all wood. No torches, no blankets, no weapons of mass destruction. Just furniture. I'm 1 rocking chair away from opening a carpentry business. But hey, bed first. A man has priorities, and sleeping on rocks and grass is not one of them. 2 wood, 12 minutes of auto-crafting, boom. Bed secured. No mattress, no pillow, no blanket, just a flat wooden plank to lay on. 5 stars, would sleep again. While the bed builds itself, I sit on the floor eating dry rations like a sad raccoon and scroll through world chat. Some absolute legend named Chi Yong posted a full survival guide. Key points. The 3-day protection period is basically training wheels. After that monsters show up, nobody's found another player within 2 kilometers, so we're all solo, and wild animals are rare right now. Probably newbie protection keeping them away. But the real gold nugget? Some genius discovered you don't have to chop trees for wood. You can just grab leaves and branches, pile them up, and the inventory system converts them into wood units automatically. You mean I destroyed my hands yesterday for nothing? I blistered my palms into raw hamburger meat when I could have been picking up sticks? I'm simultaneously grateful and furious. I write that tip down like it's the answer to a final exam. Area chat is mostly people either crying for help or flexing their awakened powers. One guy, Luigwa, is reposting survival tips from World Chat. Respect to that dude. He's the group project member who actually does work. My bed finishes. It's a single, 1.8 meters long. I'm 1.75, perfect fit. I drag it to the far wall, put my axe at the bedside like a nightstand weapon, and collapse. And then something magical happens. I actually sleep. Like, real sleep. Deep sleep. For the first time since my parents died, I don't wake up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling questioning existence. I even dream about my parents being here in this world, building a fancy shelter together, living happily. I wake up and the sadness is a little lighter. Just a little. Morning routine. Stumble around in the dark cabin, handle business, eat bread, drink water. Glamorous lifestyle. Back to the bushes. But this time I'm smart. No more caveman axe swinging. I collect branches and leaves like I'm doing yard cleanup, pile them up, and ding, 1 wood unit. Over and over. It's like the difference between mining Bitcoin with a calculator versus a supercomputer. Same result, fraction of the effort. By noon my inventory reads, 115 wood, only needed 100, overachiever moment, 30 wild fruits, and 20 plant fiber. The fruits taste like someone made a lemon eat another lemon and then punched it. Absolutely vicious sourness. But vitamin C is vitamin C, so into the pocket they go. Problem is, I still need 1 iron to upgrade my shelter, and I have 0 idea where to find it. Wood grows on trees, literally, but iron doesn't exactly sprout from bushes. Time to explore. I craft a stone knife for the trip. 30 centimeters of smooth, sharp rock. My axe is basically dead after yesterday's tree massacre. The blade is so chipped it looks like it tried to bite something and lost. Rest in pieces, buddy. Armed with my knife, I head west along the mountain base. Eyes scanning everywhere like a paranoid squirrel. Treasure chests are tiny, easy to miss if you're not looking. 2 kilometers out, I find a pile of rocks. Into the inventory, 14 stone units, just like that. Gathering loose resources beats mining every time. It's like the world just leaves loot on the ground and hopes someone picks it up. 3 more kilometers, and I spot a small grove of trees. Thin, short, nothing impressive, but maybe they've got fruit. Fresh fruit would be premium trade material once the market opens. Everyone else is eating dry rations too, and I bet people would trade good stuff for a taste of something that isn't cardboard-flavored survival bread. I walk into the grove already calculating profits in my head like a tiny Wall Street broker. But then, something catches my eye in the grass under a tree. A metallic gleam. Bronze-colored. A bronze treasure chest. My wooden chests gave me bread and building materials. A bronze chest? That's got to be the premium loot box. The deluxe edition. My heart is doing backflips. I'm already mentally spending whatever's inside. I rush forward, reaching for it like a kid grabbing the last cookie, and then every alarm in my body goes off at once. My face drops. I throw myself sideways. Something is very wrong. The workbench is basically a furniture catalog. Bed, table, chair, bucket. I can build an entire IKEA showroom, but not a single torch. Very useful when monsters come knocking. Please, Mr. Mutant Beast, have a seat in this lovely oak chair while I die. First craft, a bed. Because I can survive without a girlfriend, but I cannot survive without sleep. 12 minutes later, I've got a wooden plank to pass out on. Living the dream. Literally, I dream about my parents being here, building a nice shelter together. Wake up feeling better than I have in years. First good sleep since I was 13. Thanks. Total exhaustion and existential terror. Best sleep 8 ever. Morning of day 2. Bread, water, back to the bushes. But this time I'm a genius. Instead of beating trees to death with my axe like a lunatic, I just pick up sticks and leaves. Pile them up. Inventory goes ding, 1 wood. Again, ding. Again, ding. By noon I have 115 wood, 30 disgusting sour fruits that taste like battery acid, and 20 plant fiber. My hands are blister-free. Yesterday me was an idiot. Still need 1 iron to upgrade the shelter though, and iron doesn't grow on trees. So I craft a stone knife, 30 centimeters of smooth rock blade, and head west to explore. My axe is basically a stone popsicle stick at this point, so chipped it couldn't cut butter. 2 kilometers in, I find loose rocks on the ground. 14 stone units, just scooped up like picking up change from a couch. 3 more kilometers, and I spot a little grove of trees. I walk in thinking about fruit, and then I see it. Bronze gleam in the grass. A bronze treasure chest. My first upgrade from wooden loot boxes. I'm basically vibrating with excitement as I reach for it, and a snake lunges at my face. A freaking bamboo viper. Triangle head, green scales, fangs out, full assassination mode. This thing was hiding next to the chest like a scaly security guard. Its head brushes past my hand. I literally feel the wet scales, and if I hadn't caught it in my peripheral vision, I'd be writing my own obituary right now. I throw myself sideways, hit the ground, roll, pop back up. My heart is beating so hard it might file a noise complaint. The snake is coiled up staring at me like, "You dare?" "Yes, I dare, you overgrown noodle." I grab my knife and slash it. The knife cuts through. Basically nothing. Scratches the scales. This stone knife is about as lethal as a butter knife at a sword fight. Plan B. I yank out my dying stone axe and go full caveman on its head. Smash, smash, smash. 3 hits until that triangle head is modern art. See if you bite me now. I'm shaking from adrenaline and delayed terror. 1 snake bite out here means game over. No hospital, no antivenom, no save file to reload. Just death and maybe a funny obituary in world chat. I pocket the dead snake because meat is meat. Someone out there is definitely into snake cuisine. Not me, but capitalism doesn't require personal taste. Now I grab the bronze chest, but with a stick this time, poking around the grass first like a paranoid old man checking for burglars. Lesson learned. Always beat the grass before reaching into it. Bronze chest opens with a fancy light show. 3 glowing orbs inside. Dramatic. Orb 1. A Tang Dynasty straight sword. Real metal. Sharp. Beautiful. The system description literally says, "Isn't this a bit OP for the starter zone?" Yes. Yes it is. And it's mine. Every man loves a good blade the way every woman loves a good handbag. Don't argue. It's science. Orb 2. A torch blueprint. I can now craft torches using wood and plant fiber. This seems small, but hear me out. Nobody else has light at night. Nobody. Which means once trading opens, I'm selling torches like hotcakes. I'm about to become the Edison of the apocalypse. The Torch Tycoon. Jeff Bezos of Fire Sticks. Orb 3. An arrow tower blueprint. An actual defensive building that auto-shoots arrows. It needs 100 wood, 100 stone, and 1 iron though. So it's going straight into the "when I'm rich" pile next to the fence blueprint. My dreams are expensive and my pockets are empty. But the real problem hasn't changed. Still need 1 stupid iron to upgrade the shelter. I spend 2 hours combing the grove and find absolutely nothing. It's like downloading a movie and the progress bar stops at 99.99%. The tissue is ready, but the content won't load. Infuriating. Defeated, I head home. But first, hygiene. I haven't showered in 2 days and I smell like a gym locker had a baby with a compost bin. I make a wooden bucket, walk to the river, strip down, and dump cold water on myself while washing my clothes in the stream. The river is 40 meters wide, crystal clear, and completely devoid of fish. Which is good because if any fish saw me naked they'd flip belly up and I'd never recover from the embarrassment. And that's when I notice it. A corner of a wooden box, peeking out from under the river pebbles. I scramble over, shove rocks aside, and wood, stone, and 5 iron. 5 iron. I needed 1 and I got 5. I'm standing in a river, completely naked, screaming with joy, hugging a box of rocks and metal. If anyone could see me right now, I'd be the meme of the century. But I don't care. I grab my bucket, throw on my wet clothes, and sprint home so fast I practically break the sound barrier. What took 20 minutes going now takes maybe 8 coming back. I burst into my cabin, slap down 100 wood, 10 stone, 1 iron, confirm upgrade, white light explodes. The cabin transforms. When the glow fades, my crappy shack is actually a house now. No more fist-sized cracks. No more skylight holes in the roof. A real shelter. And the system unlocks trading, personal gathering skills, and scouting abilities. The trading system works like an in-game marketplace. List items in your inventory, buyers pay, system teleports the goods. Online shopping, Apocalypse Edition. Day 2 complete. I've got a sword, a business plan involving torches, a shelter that won't collapse if someone sneezes, and the memory of fighting a snake while half reaching for a treasure chest. Progress. My upgraded cabin is actually nice now. No more cracks, no more holes in the roof. Actual stone floor instead of dirt and weeds. It's split into 3 rooms, a front area, a workshop with my workbench by the window, and a bedroom in the back. It's basically a studio apartment. I'd list it on Zillow if Zillow existed here. Cozy mountain retreat. Open concept, no neighbors within several kilometers, slight monster problem, asking price. Your will to live. The front room should be a living room, but I have 0 guests and 0 furniture. So it's either a storage dump or a strategic combat zone. If a beast breaks down my door, I can run circles around my pile of junk. Tactical genius. Now the good stuff. Upgrading the shelter unlocked 3 new abilities. First, investigate. I can skin things and learn what they are. I pull out that dead snake from yesterday and boom. Bamboo viper, venomous, good at hiding. Yeah, no kidding. I almost French-kissed its fangs. Second, harvest. I use it on the snake and it auto-butchers into snake meat, snake skin, and snake venom. All neatly separated. No blood, no guts. No. How do I skin a snake? YouTube tutorial needed. This is the greatest skill for someone whose cooking experience is limited to instant ramen. The system basically said, you're too useless to do this yourself, here's autopilot. Third, trading. The marketplace is open and I am ready to become a businessman. I hop into area chat first. It's chaos. Someone's begging for water for the 8th time today, without even trying to upgrade their shelter. Another guy is celebrating his upgrade by announcing he's going to chat for 30 minutes straight. Several people are desperately looking for iron. Turns out iron is the rarest upgrade material. People are comparing it to those impossible-to-get lucky coupons from New Year's promotions. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with 4 extra iron blocks feeling like a secret millionaire at a homeless shelter. The trading market is interesting. Most people are selling useless personal items. Nose rings, necklaces, random junk from their pockets when they got transported here. Clothes cost 100 wood minimum. Weapons. Nobody's selling those, obviously. Nobody's that stupid. Food prices are through the roof because the only reliable source is treasure chests, and everyone's hoarding. Water is cheap though, 3 wood per liter. Too many people spawn near lakes and rivers, flooding the market. Pun intended. Some maniac has listed over 1,000 liters. Dude is either living in the river or he's secretly a fish. I run the numbers on becoming a water merchant. Walk to river, fill bucket, walk back, list water. For 3 wood each. That's basically minimum wage with extra steps. Hard pass. No, my golden ticket is torches. Almost nobody has lighting. The few torches on the market are expensive, and I have the blueprint. All I need is wood and plant fiber, or cotton. Would I have plenty? Fiber and cotton? Not so much. Time to sell some of those face-melting sour fruits. I list them at 5 plant fiber or cotton per fruit. Is that highway robbery? Absolutely. But food prices are sky high and people are desperate. I'm not proud, but I am entrepreneurial. My inbox explodes. Some want to trade wood instead. Some want to be friends first and negotiate later. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Some are haggling like it's a flea market. Then one message catches my eye. A woman named Lu Xiaoya, sharp face, short hair, no-nonsense energy in her profile picture. She offers 45 cotton for 10 fruits. That's 4.5 per fruit instead of my listed 5. Normally I'd say no, but here's the thing. 45 cotton in one go means she probably has a cotton field near her shelter. That's not a customer. That's a supplier. She's smart too. Calls me out immediately. You're bulk buying cotton, so you obviously have a blueprint that needs it. I have a cotton field and need a buyer. Let's not pretend. I respect the directness. We negotiate. She'll supply me regularly. I'll give a slight discount. And tomorrow she wants wood or stone instead of fruit. Deal. The trade goes through instantly. My fruits vanish from inventory. A pile of cotton appears on my floor. Magic Amazon delivery. What she's doing with the fruit, I don't know and honestly don't care. Probably has her own recipe blueprint. That's her hustle. My hustle is torches. The math is simple. Wood is everywhere. Cotton is now incoming, and 50 billion people need to see in the dark. I'm about to corner the fire market. Move over, Prometheus. There's a new guy bringing light to humanity, and he's charging 5 wood per unit. Day 2 ends with me sitting on my wooden bed in my newly upgraded cabin, doing mental calculations about profit margins on sticks on fire. 2 days ago, I watched civilization burn. Now I'm building a torch empire in a magical survival world. Capitalism finds a way. After sealing the deal with Lu Xiaoye, I scoop all the cotton off my floor and shove it into my inventory. Then I notice the snake meat still sitting there. I don't eat snake. I have standards. Low standards, sure. I survived on instant noodles and energy drinks for years, but snake meat is where I draw the line. So I slap a price tag on it. 10 units of cotton. Some adventurous eater out there will bite. Pun absolutely intended. Now it's time to launch my business empire. I walk into my workshop, pull out the torch blueprint, and feed it to the workbench. White flash, blueprint absorbed, and suddenly, torch appears at the top of my crafting menu like it's been waiting for me its whole life. I select it, dump in some wood and cotton, and a few seconds later, boom. My first torch. This thing is beautiful. About a meter long, thick sturdy handle, and here's the best part. You don't need a lighter, matches, or my crappy fire starter to use it. You just scratch it against a rock and it lights up like a giant match. Burns for 2 solid hours. Windproof. Self-igniting. It's basically a medieval lightsaber minus the cool sound effects. The system really outdid itself. If I could give it a 5-star review on Amazon, I would. I have 49 units of wood plus enough cotton to make 49 torches. So that's exactly what I do. Half an hour of the workbench doing its thing, and I've got 49 glorious fire sticks lined up like soldiers ready for deployment. Time to test the market. I list all 49 torches at 5 wood each. 1 per customer. Why the limit? Because I'm not just selling torches, I'm building a brand. These are consumables. They burn out in 2 hours. People will come back. I need maximum exposure, maximum word of mouth, maximum. Oh my God, where did you get that torch? Energy spreading through the survivor community. First hit is almost free, then they're hooked. I learned this from mobile games, and now I'm weaponizing it against 50 billion apocalypse survivors. Marketing 101, baby. I sit back and wait for sales. I don't wait long. World chat explodes. Someone posts, who's selling torches in the trading channel? Another person goes, obviously the system made it. Must be lucky. Then some guy flexes that he grabbed the last one and confirms they're legit good. Someone else rages about not being fast enough. We got Isekai'd and I still have TO speed click TO buy things. I was actually about to go advertise in world chat myself, but the customers did it for me. Free marketing. Beautiful. These people are basically my unpaid social media team. Influencer culture survives the apocalypse. Who knew? The sales notification hits like a freight train of joy. Lost. 49 torches. Gained. 245 wood. 245 wood. That's more than I got from an entire day of chopping trees until my arms turned to jelly. One evening of crafting and selling from my cozy cabin beats a full day of manual labor. I'm not a lumberjack anymore. I'm a CEO. A small, underfunded, one-man CEO operating out of a wooden shack. But still, I have left the working class and I am never going back. I still have 165 units of cotton left. That's 165 more torches. The workbench gets back to work while I treat myself to some furniture. A table, a chair, and a cabinet. 10 would total. I deserve nice things. A businessman needs a proper office. 2 hours later, 165 torches ready. But this time I don't trade for wood. I've got enough wood for now. What I need for the next shelter upgrade is stone. So I list 50 torches at 5 stone each. Gone. Instantly. Like concert tickets for a band that only has one song, but it's really good. 250 stone units acquired. Combined with what I already had, my inventory is looking thick. 80 wood, 290 stone, for iron, and 115 torches still in reserve. The next shelter upgrade needs 200 wood, 200 stone, 10 iron, and 2 glass. I'm already halfway there on most materials, and I haven't even left my house today. The torch empire is carrying me on its warm, flickering shoulders. I fall asleep in my actual bed, in my actual bedroom, with a torch burning on the table. When it dies, the room goes dark and I'm out cold in seconds. Forced lights out. Best sleep schedule I've ever had, honestly. No doom scrolling at 3 a.m. when your phone doesn't exist. Morning. Day 3. The last day of newbie protection. I open my eyes and the system is already in my face with notifications like an aggressive alarm clock. Today is the last day of newbie protection. Upgrade your shelter. Increased treasure chest spawns. Increased resource spawns. Cool. Thanks. Nothing like waking up to a death countdown. I check the chat, and everyone's panicking. Some people still haven't upgraded their shelters. Some haven't even left their shelters in 3 days. One guy literally asks, "Do I have to go outside today?" And someone else responds with, "Here's a funeral song for you." Brutal. But honestly, if you spent 3 days hiding in a broken shack doing nothing while the system screamed, "Upgrade or die," at you repeatedly, I don't know what to say. Natural selection is about to give a masterclass. I don't have time for chat drama. Every minute counts. Bread, water, face wash, speed run morning routine. I empty my inventory completely, leave everything at home, and prepare to head out fully loaded for action. While grabbing my weapons, I pause. I've got the Tang sword now. My stone knife is useless to me, and my stone axe is basically a museum exhibit with how chipped it is. Selling them on the market would get me laughed at. Bro is really listing a stone AXE in 2026, but throwing them away feels wrong. I'm Chinese. We don't waste things. My ancestors would haunt me if I tossed a perfectly mediocre stone axe into the grass. What if I try my synthesis ability? I've been sitting on this power since I awakened it, too poor to risk wasting materials. But now, these are literally items I was about to throw away. Perfect test subjects. Zero risk, all curiosity. I focus my mind and call it. The synthesis furnace materializes out of my consciousness like a hologram made solid. It's got 10 slots, 1 main material in the center, up to 9 support materials around it. I place the stone axe as the main material, the stone knife, and 5 stone units as support. The system shows me 100% success rate, 1% mutation chance. I try swapping in wood and iron instead. Success rate drops hard, mutation chance goes up. Interesting. Matching materials equals safer results. Mixed materials equal wild cards. For my first ever synthesis, I play it safe. Original recipe. Stone on stone. Hit confirm. Something flows out of my brain and into the furnace. It's like pouring water from a cup. I can feel myself getting slightly emptier. Blue light fills the furnace. 2 minutes of glowing later, a stone axe drops into my hand. But it's not the same axe. Every chip and crack is gone. The edge is razor sharp. Blue light shimmers across the blade like it's been enchanted. I use my investigate skill on it. Stone axe, fine quality. Sharpness increased by 30%. My garbage stone axe just went from white tier trash to blue tier premium. The synthesis ability isn't just crafting. It's upgrading. I basically took a dollar store axe and turned it into a designer axe. If I can do this with better materials, metal weapons, armor, tools, I could be the greatest blacksmith in this entire world. Custom upgrades. Premium quality. Imagine listing enhanced Tang sword, fine quality, on the trading market. People would sell their grandmothers for that. The downside? It cost me 1 point of mental energy. I started with 6, now I'm at 5, and I can feel it. Slight drowsiness, brain fog, like I just binged a long TV series. 6 points means 6 syntheses per day maximum, and I don't know how fast it regenerates. Not great, but manageable. The ability is clearly designed for when I have abundant resources, not for my current, barely surviving on sticks and anger, phase. I pocket the upgraded axe, grab my Tang sword, and head out. Morning plan, harvest plant fiber from the bushes for torch production. Afternoon plan, treasure chest hunting. Everything aimed at one goal, second shelter upgrade before protection ends. At the bushes, I pull out my new blue tier axe and take a swing at a small tree. It goes down in a few hits instead of the usual 10-minute wrestling match. Nearly twice as fast. What took me all day before now takes half the time. I may have underestimated this axe. Synthesis didn't just save my trash items from the garbage. It gave me a genuine competitive advantage. I'm grinning like an idiot while chopping trees. A shut-in gamer with noodle arms, swinging a glowing blue axe in a fantasy survival world, running a torch monopoly on the side. If my old gaming buddies could see me now, they'd either be jealous or deeply concerned. Probably both. Morning grind. Activated. I'm out in the bushes swinging my shiny new blue tier axe like a man possessed, chopping trees, ripping fiber, collecting everything that isn't bolted to the ground. By the time noon rolls around, I'm drenched in sweat. My clothes have salt stains that look like abstract art, and my arms are screaming profanities at my brain. But my inventory? Oh, my inventory is looking gorgeous. 260 wood, 80 plant fiber, 10 wild fruits. That's a morning's work from the guy who couldn't run for 2 minutes on day 1 without his lungs threatening to resign. Character development, people, or maybe just desperation. Same thing, really. I plop down under a shady spot and munch on dry rations. No lunch break at home today. Time is too precious. The newbie protection ends tomorrow, and I need every single minute. My plan is simple. Eat fast, then sweep south toward the forest, loop around the edge of the bushes collecting everything in sight, and end up back at my shelter by sunset. Efficiency. Optimization. Things I never cared about when I was binge-watching anime at 3 a.m., but suddenly matter a lot when monsters are about to become real. After refueling, I start heading south. And here's the weird thing. My body feels better than it should. Like, I've been doing manual labor for 3 days straight with the fitness level of a potato, but instead of falling apart, I feel like something's waking up inside me. Some kind of hidden stat activating from actual physical activity. Turns out the human body responds to exercise. Groundbreaking discovery. Someone alert the scientists. Oh wait, they all got Isekai'd too. About a kilometer south, I spot something that makes me stop dead in my tracks. An apple tree. A big, beautiful, fruit-loaded apple tree just standing in the middle of the grassland like it owns the place. I am 1000% certain this tree was not here on day 1. I walked this exact path. This tree literally materialized overnight. Did it teleport? Did the world speed grow it? Is there a tree fairy I should be tipping? I use my investigate skill because I'm not about to eat poison fruit in a death world. Red Fuji apple tree. Premium quality. Sweet, crispy, fragrant. Basically the Rolls-Royce of apples. My mouth waters so hard I nearly drown myself. I haven't eaten anything but dry cardboard rations and battery acid wild fruits for 3 days, and now the universe drops a gourmet apple tree in my lap? I want to cry. I want to hug this tree. I want to write it a love letter. But first, snake check. I learned my lesson last time. I take my sword and thrash the surrounding grass like I'm fighting invisible enemies. No snakes. No bugs. No tiny assassins. Clear. Then I pick the apples. 31 beauties. I bite into one, and it's so good I momentarily forget I'm in a survival death world. Sweet, crispy, juicy, everything the system description promised. 5 stars. Would pick again. Then I get a crazy idea. What if I can harvest the whole tree? Like get the seed? I put my hand on the trunk and whisper, harvest, like I'm casting a spell in a fantasy movie. The entire tree vanishes. Poof. Gone. Nothing left but a hole in the ground and 1 apple tree seed in my inventory. I just pickpocketed a tree out of existence. What is my life right now? The seed is listed as plantable and breedable. So theoretically, I could start an apple orchard. A farmer in a death world. Old MacDonald had a shelter. Oh no, here come the monsters. I keep moving south, and for the next hour it's nothing but grass, grass, and more grass. Not a single treasure chest. Not even a pebble worth picking up. The boredom is crushing. You know that feeling when you're farming in a game and the drop rate is 0? That, but in real life, with actual tired legs and actual sweat running into your actual eyeballs. Then I smell something. Meat. Cooking meat. Roasted, seasoned, absolutely divine-smelling meat. Drifting through the grassland breeze like a siren song designed specifically to destroy my willpower. I follow my nose like a cartoon character floating toward a pie on a windowsill. Push through some tall grass, and I find a Peking duck. A whole, roasted, Peking duck, wrapped in a glowing orb, steam rising, golden brown skin glistening, sitting in the middle of nowhere like room service from God. The system label says, Quanjued roast duck. That's one of the most famous duck restaurants on Blue Star. A meal I've heard about my entire life, but never actually eaten because it was expensive and I was, you know, an orphan shut-in who spent his money on gacha games. I shatter the light orb so fast I nearly punch a hole in reality. Rip off a piece of duck. It's hot. still hot, fresh out of some interdimensional oven. The skin crackles, the meat melts on my tongue, and for exactly 4 seconds I achieve enlightenment. This is what happiness tastes like. All the dry rations, all the sour fruits, all the suffering, worth it for this one bite. My 3-day-old worldview shatters again. What kind of world spawns treasure chests, talent stones, and fine dining? Is this a survival game or a cooking show? Is Gordon Ramsay secretly running this dimension? This duck is raw. No, actually, it's perfect. Thank you, Mystery World. I force myself to stop after 1 piece. The rest goes into inventory. A Peking duck on the trading market could buy me a kingdom, or at least a lot of stone and iron. Delayed gratification. I hate it, but I'm doing it. Looking around, I realize I'm near where I found my very first wooden treasure chest on day 1. This area is basically my lucky spot. My 4-leaf clover coordinate. I decide to keep searching here instead of pushing into the forest, partly because the loot seems good, and partly because I just remembered the forest probably has more snakes, and I'm wearing summer clothes that couldn't stop a gentle breeze, let alone fangs. I head east, and almost immediately spot 3 trees huddled together. And there, nestled in the crook of the middle tree, is a bronze treasure chest. Second one ever. My heart starts doing jumping jacks. But I'm not an idiot anymore. Fool me once with a snake, shame on the snake. Fool me twice, shame on me. I approach cautiously, scanning every inch of grass, every shadow, oh no, there's a wasp nest. A big wasp nest, hidden behind the leaves. And around the chest, dozens, no, hundreds, of yellow-legged hornets are buzzing like tiny angry helicopters. I use Investigate on one, yellow-legged hornet. Venomous. Extremely territorial. Highly aggressive. Not recommended to provoke. Thanks for the advice, system. Really helpful. Not recommended. As if I was considering walking up and shaking their hands. I stare at the wasps. The wasps stare at me. The treasure chest sits there looking smug. My tang sword is useless here. I can't exactly sword fight a swarm. A stick would just make them angry. Childhood experience taught me that poking wasp nests is in the top 3 worst decisions a human being can make, right between eating gas station sushi and texting your ex at 2 a.m., but I want that chest. And I'm not leaving without it. Think, Shinsei. Think. You're a gamer. You've solved puzzles harder than this. What kills bugs? Fire. What makes bugs leave? Smoke. What makes smoke that bugs specifically hate? Mugwort. I saw a patch of mugwort near where I found the duck. The old director at my orphanage used to burn mugwort to fumigate insects. It's basically biological warfare against anything with 6 legs. Shinsei, you beautiful genius. I sprint back to Lucky Duck Ground Zero, hack down a bunch of mugwort with my sword, grab some dry branches, and haul the whole bundle back to the wasp trees. Check the wind, coming from the northwest. Perfect. I set up my mugwort pile upwind of the nest, sneak far enough away to light a stick with my flint, then creep back and light the whole pile. The moment the smoke hits, it's chaos. Thick, bitter smoke rolls straight into the nest. Hornets pour out like an angry river, buzzing furiously, looking for something to murder. But they can't fight smoke. It's like bringing a knife to a gas fight. One by one, they start dropping, falling out of the air like little angry raindrops, hitting the ground with tiny thuds. Some fly directly into the fire because apparently wasps are not known for their critical thinking skills. Each one makes a tiny pop sound when it hits the flames. It's horrifying and satisfying in equal measure. Fun fact I learned from a fire safety class as a kid. Most things that die in fires don't actually burn to death. They suffocate from the smoke first. Same principle here. The hornets never stood a chance against my mugwort smoke bomb. Once the swarm thins out, I grab my long stick, sprint to the tree, jam the stick into the nest, flick it off the branch, and into the fire pile in one smooth motion. Then I turn and run like my life depends on it. Which it does. 10 meters away, I spin around to watch. A few surviving hornets crawl out of the burning nest and immediately get eaten by flames. Pop, pop, pop. It's over. The system dings. Congratulations. Combat victory achieved. Battle Treasure Chest X1 awarded. Battle Treasure Chest? That's a new type. Apparently the system counts, outsmarting a wasp colony with Stone Age chemical warfare as a combat victory. And not just any victory. The system specifically says I won by defeating a stronger enemy with inferior numbers. Because the Wasp Queen was an elite tier creature, blue ranked. I just committed regicide on an insect monarchy using nothing but weeds and fire. Brains beat brawn, baby. Every single time. I harvest the burned nest. 200 grams of honey and one elite tier queen hornet corpse. Honey. Do you know how valuable honey is in a world where sugar doesn't exist? I'm basically holding liquid gold. And the queen corpse? Elite materials have got to be worth something for synthesis later. I chopped down the tree, grabbed the bronze chest, and now I'm standing here with two unopened treasure chests. One battle, one bronze. Glowing in my hands like Christmas presents from the apocalypse. My fingers are trembling. My heart is racing. This is better than any gacha pull I've ever done, and I once spent $300 trying to get a limited edition character skin. Open them. Both. Two treasure chests. One bronze, one battle. I'm standing in a field that smells like burnt wasps and victory. Let's do this. Bronze chest first. The light show is getting familiar now. Green glow, dramatic pause, items materialize. I get three things. A Windchaser bow, blue quality, 30% arrow speed boost, 300-meter range. A basic healing salve for cuts and bruises, and a blueprint for a small round shield. Not bad at all. A bow. I went from guy with a rock on a stick to legitimate ranged threat in 3 days. Character progression in this world is wild. Battle chest next. This one feels different. The glow is warmer, more intense. Out come two items. A Bloodlingji mushroom and a skill book called Mysterious Void Blade Technique. I stare at them for a solid 10 seconds without blinking. The Bloodlingji is a blue-quality medicinal herb that permanently increases physical constitution by 2 points. Permanently. As in forever. As in my pathetic body stat of 4, which was below average for a normal adult, could jump to 6. That's not just catching up to normal humans. That's surpassing them. One magical mushroom, and suddenly I'm fitter than I ever was in my entire sedentary, ramen-fueled, couch potato existence. And the skill book. Oh, the skill book. Mysterious Void Blade Technique. Blue quality. Increases attack speed by 30%. It's described as a foundational sword technique from some alternate world martial arts sect, with powerful sweeping moves and unpredictable variations. If I master it completely, it gives another 2 points of constitution. I'm looking at a total of 4 extra body stat points between these two items. Every Chinese kid grows up dreaming of being a martial arts hero. Wuxia novels, kung fu movies, that one time you tried to do a flying kick off the playground slide and ate dirt. We all had the dream. And now I'm holding an actual skill book for an actual fighting technique in an actual fantasy world. The dream is real. The dirt-eating playground kid has ascended. I pocket everything and keep searching because the sun's still up and I refuse to waste daylight on emotional breakdowns, no matter how joyful. I sweep east toward the river, then follow it north, scanning a 200-meter strip on the west bank. Today is absolutely ridiculous with the loot drops. I find 3 more wooden chests and, I kid you not, a solar-powered phone charger. A charger. For a phone I don't have. In a world without electricity. The universe has a sense of humor, and it's currently laughing at me. I make it home before dark with an inventory so stuffed I feel like Santa Claus after raiding a mall. First order of business. Set the workbench to pump out 80 torches from today's plant fiber haul. While those cook, I sit at my new table. Yes, I have a table now. I'm basically civilized. Light a torch and start going through everything. The 3 wooden chests give me 150 wood, 100 stone, and 15 iron. Nothing exciting, but solid foundation materials. Between everything I've gathered and traded, my next shelter upgrade is looking very achievable. The system really did increase the loot today. Anyone who actually went outside should be able to upgrade their shelter. Anyone who didn't, well, natural selection sends its regards. Now for the main event. I pull out the Bloodlingji. The description says it's a 10-year-old supernatural plant. Permanently adds 2 constitution points. Heals hidden injuries. Should I save it for later when my stats are higher? Use it strategically? Be smart about timing? Nah, I eat it now. Because here's my philosophy. Alive today beats optimized tomorrow. I can't benefit from a stat boost if I'm dead. And tomorrow the newbie protection ends. Tomorrow. If there was ever a time to power up, it's right now. I break off a small piece and pop it in my mouth, expecting something disgusting. Medicine is supposed to taste bad, right? Every cough syrup, every herbal remedy, it's good for you. Soup my orphanage served, all terrible. But this tastes good, slightly sweet, almost fruity. I'm so pleasantly surprised that I start eating faster. The whole thing disappears in under 3 minutes. No reaction? Maybe it takes a while too. A volcanic eruption of heat detonates in my stomach. It's like swallowing a bonfire. Hot energy shoots through my veins, flooding every inch of my body in seconds. My skin turns red. My blood feels like it's boiling. Every muscle inflates like someone's pumping me full of air. I feel like a balloon about to pop. The pressure is insane, like my body is a size small shirt trying to contain a size extra large explosion. I ate too much. I ate too much. Panic. Pure, undiluted. I just overdosed on a magic mushroom in a fantasy world. Panic. This is how I die? Not from monsters, not from snakes, not from starvation, but from eating a health supplement too fast? My obituary would be humiliating. Shin CI, age 24, killed by vitamins. Don't panic. Think. Deep breath, which is hard when your blood is literally on fire. And suddenly inspiration strikes like lightning. The skill book. Physical activity. If my body is overloaded with energy, maybe I need to burn it. OFF. I snatch the mysterious void blade technique book off the table and flip it open. White light erupts from the pages. A tsunami of information crashes into my brain. Suddenly, I'm not me anymore. I'm watching someone else, a stranger, practicing this blade technique day after day, year after year, decade after decade. Every stance, every swing, every subtle shift of weight and angle of the wrist downloads directly into my muscle memory like the world's most intense tutorial video. My body moves on its own. I stand up, draw my Tang sword, and start performing the technique. In my tiny cabin, at night, while my blood is on fire and my skin is glowing red. I must look absolutely insane. If anyone could see me, a sweating, crimson-skinned maniac swinging a sword in a wooden shack by torchlight, they would run screaming in the opposite direction. And honestly, fair. I lose track of how many times I repeat the forms. 3 times? 30? 300? Time dissolves. My body moves. The energy burns. The heat slowly transforms from lethal furnace to aggressive sauna to warm bath to nothing. When I finally snap back to consciousness, I feel incredible. The soreness from 3 days of labor? Gone. The swelling in my hands? Gone. The fatigue dragging at my bones? Gone. I feel like I could fight 10 people at the same time and win. A tribute panel, Constitution 6, up from 4. That's a 50% increase. I'm now above average for the first time in my entire life. My arms feel solid. My legs feel springy. My little beer belly, grown with love and dedication over years of sitting, has vanished. In its place, the ghost of abs. Actual abs. Hidden, shy, barely there abs, but there. I went from soft serve to semi-firm in one evening. 3 days ago, I couldn't run for 2 minutes. Now I feel like I could sprint for 20. The mysterious void blade technique sits in my skill panel at proficient, 76%, not beginner, not intermediate, 76% proficient. The book plus the forced training session from the energy overload basically speed ran my martial arts education. I know how to hold a sword properly now, how to shift my weight, how to generate power from my hips instead of flailing my arms like a windmill. The Tang sword feels like an extension of my body instead of a metal stick I'm awkwardly waving around. The constant anxiety about tomorrow, about the newbie protection ending, it's fading. Not gone, but fading. I'm not the same helpless shut-in who showed up here 3 days ago. I have a weapon, I have a technique, and my body can actually back them up now. The workbench dings, 80 torches complete. Time for business. I calculate my stock, 180 torches for sale, about a dozen for personal use. Plus 10 wild fruits, 30 premium apples, 1 Peking duck, and I can craft small round shields. 9 iron available after reserving 10 for the shelter upgrade, means 9 shields. I queue up the shields, 5 minutes each, 45 total. While they build, I check world chat. It's a circus. Today's loot bonanza has everyone showing off. That clown Xiaohua from my area channel. I am the main character, kid with the fireball, posts a blue-quality apprentice staff that boosts fire damage by 30%. Okay, I'll admit it, that's not terrible. Someone else shows off a dimensional ring with 3 cubic meters of storage space. The system description says, here's a ring. No, I can't accept. My husband wouldn't approve. Even the items are being sarcastic in this world. Then someone posts a Brotherhood scroll that lets 2 survivors merge their shelters. Merge. That's actually game-changing for alliances. The chat goes ballistic. But the real bombshell? Some former government big shot posts a recruitment announcement. He's forming a survivor alliance called the Isekai'd, recruiting people with special items and resources, promising mutual aid and organized governance. Below him, a dozen other groups start recruiting too. Eagle Alliance, Freedom Society, Brotherhood League, some edgy group called the Skull Society, because apparently the apocalypse attracts people with hot topic energy. Former politicians trying to rebuild power structures. Military guys organizing chains of command. Natural leaders stepping up. It makes sense. Humans are social creatures. Safety in numbers. Strength through unity. Am I interested? Absolutely not. I've lived alone since I was 13. I've been my own boss, my own cook, my own company for over a decade. I don't do group projects. I don't do hierarchies. I don't do meetings or leadership or following orders. As a professional shut-in, my independence isn't a personality trait. It's a lifestyle. Working for someone else? In this world or any world? Not happening. Not in this life. I'd rather fight 1,000 wasps again than attend a team-building exercise. I'm a solo player. Always have been. And in a world where I can make torches, synthesize weapons, and swing a magic sword technique, solo is working out just fine. Tomorrow the training wheels come off. Monsters arrive. Disasters begin. The real game starts. Bring it on. I've got a sword, a bow, a furnace in my brain, and abs for the first time in my life. What could go wrong? World Chat has officially become LinkedIn. Every single message is some alliance recruiting members. Join the Eagle Brotherhood. Join the Freedom Society. Join the Skull Club. Bro, you've been in this world for 3 days, and you're already forming corporations? Can we at least survive a full week before we reinvent HR departments? I scroll past recruitment ad after recruitment ad, looking for anything actually useful, and find absolutely nothing. It's like trying to find a real tweet in a sea of promoted posts. The end of newbie protection has everyone scared, and scared people do 2 things. Panic or follow whoever sounds the most confident. Right now, the confident ones are building kingdoms out of promises and desperate followers. I switched to my area channel hoping for something better. It's worse. Some guy named Zhang Biao has founded something called the Blood Fiend Alliance right here in my local zone. He's a big dude with a scar running from his mouth to his ear. The kind of face that says, I've made several terrible life decisions, and I'm about to make you one of them. He's posting recruitment messages promising food, safety, and protection to anyone who joins. Just follow his orders, and everything will be fine. Free meals, free security, 0 worries. Yeah, and I'm the Emperor of the Moon. I've seen this exact pitch before. Back on Blue Star, every pyramid scheme started with, join us, and we'll take care of everything. Every cult leader promised paradise. Every con artist offered something too good to be true. Zhang Biao isn't a savior. He's a franchise owner looking for employees who don't know they're the product. But guess who can't keep his mouth shut? My area's resident main character wannabe, Xiaohua, Fireball Boy from day one. He jumps into chat like a grenade with opinions. Zhang Biao is obviously a villain. He's a thug. Anyone who joins is an idiot. Now, is he wrong? No. Zhang Biao absolutely gives off, will rob you and call it leadership energy. But is Xiaohua smart about saying it? Also no. You don't punch the bully in the face when the whole classroom is watching and half of them already joined the bully's gang. Zhang Biao fires back smooth as butter. Big words from someone with powers who won't even help the weak. You're the selfish one here. And then, like clockwork, the minions pile on. Dozens of messages flood the chat attacking Xiaohua. Yeah, at least Zhang Biao cares about us. Xiaohua has abilities, but won't share. What a jerk. Zhang Biao is a hero. It's so coordinated it might as well have a choreographer. These people are either genuinely brainwashed, or they're Zhang Biao's planted supporters stirring the pot. Probably both. I can picture it perfectly. Zhang Biao lounging in his shelter, which, knowing his type, is probably way nicer than average because he bullied someone into upgrading it for him. Watching the chat war unfold with a smug grin while some terrified lackey kneels at his feet kissing his boots. The guy probably has people inside his shelter already, not as allies, but as servants. I'll protect you. It's just a nicer way of saying, you belong to me now. A few reasonable voices try to calm things down. Liu Yang and Liu Aigua, the helpful reposting guy from before, both step in telling people to chill. But it's like whispering, please be quiet, at a rock concert. They get buried in seconds. Xiaohua, bless his hot-headed heart, eventually snaps. His last message is basically, Zhang Bijiao, if I ever see you, I will burn you alive, followed by radio silence. He logs off. The Blood Fiend Alliance declares victory and cranks the recruitment up to 11. Join now and receive a self-defense treasure. I can confirm, Zhang Biao gave me a protective item the moment I joined. Humanity needs unity. Brothers and sisters, we're waiting for you. I'm eating metaphorical popcorn watching this entire dumpster fire. The self-defense treasure claim is interesting though. What is it? How does Zhang Biao have enough to hand out? And more importantly, how is he controlling people who are presumably scattered across the region with no way to physically meet? Something doesn't add up. He's got a trick up his sleeve, some item or ability that lets him project power at a distance. Whatever it is, I want no part of it. Do I jump in to help Xiaohua? Absolutely not. Here's the thing about playing hero. It only works if the audience wants to be saved. Those people rushing to join the Blood Fiend Alliance? They've chosen to put their survival in someone else's hands. You can't wake up someone who's pretending to sleep. Xiaohua tried, and all he got was 1,000 people calling him selfish. I'm not about to make the same mistake. Being right and being smart are two different things, and tonight I'm choosing smart. Besides, I have business to handle. I close the chat disaster and check on my workshop. The 9 small round shields are done. 90 centimeters across, wooden with iron reinforcement, straps for the left arm. I put one on and grab my Tang sword with the right hand. The system description says, one-hand shield, one-hand blade. You're the coolest sword and shield warrior. I look in the... Well, I don't have a mirror. But I feel cool. That counts. I hop into the trading channel to check prices before listing my goods. First thing I notice, someone else is selling torches now. Same product, listed at 8 wood each. A competitor. The audacity. The nerve. I built this torch market from nothing, and now some copycat is muscling in. But they only have a small stock, and they sold out fast too. So clearly demand still far exceeds supply. The torch market is big enough for 2 players, for now. Prices have shifted since yesterday. Iron is climbing because people are trying to hit level 2 shelters. Basic resources are stable. Food is still expensive. And nobody is selling glass. I need 2 glass units for my shelter upgrade, and they literally don't exist on the market. It's like trying to buy a unicorn at a horse auction. I list my 180 torches at the new market rate. 8 wood or 6 stone or 1 iron each. Multiple payment options because I'm a sophisticated businessman who understands customer flexibility. In the notes, I add that I'm also buying glass at negotiable prices. Cast a wide net. Hope for the best. Then I message my supplier, Lu Xiaoya, Cotton Queen, my one reliable business partner in this entire godforsaken world. Hey beautiful, how much cotton did you collect today? Want to trade? She responds instantly, 120 units. She says another buyer contacted her, but she turned them down because she promised me first dibs. She also says she's looking for a long-term alliance partner, and she noticed that my torch listing had a 1 per customer limit, which she interpreted as me being a kind person who wants to help everyone equally. That is not why I did it. I did it for marketing. Maximum exposure, maximum repeat customers, maximum brand recognition. It was pure capitalism dressed in charity's clothing. But hey, if she wants to think I'm a saint, who am I to correct her? Some misunderstandings are profitable. I do genuinely appreciate the loyalty, though. In a world where everyone is scrambling for survival, someone keeping their word matters. So I offer her a fair deal, market rate pricing adjusted daily. Today that's 3 wood or 2 stone per cotton unit. I'll take all 120. She wants 120 wood and 160 stone. Done. Trade completed. Cotton secured. Supply chain operational. Then I do something I've been thinking about all evening. I send her a second trade request. 1 small round shield, price 1 wood. Basically free. With a note, a shield for self-defense. Consider it my investment. This isn't charity and it isn't flirting. This is business strategy. Back on Blue Star, after my parents died, I inherited a decent amount of money. Being a 13-year-old orphan with money is like being a small fish in a tank full of piranhas. I survived by strategically sharing, giving a little to the right people at the right times so they protect my interests. I learned early that relationships built purely on emotion crumble under pressure, but relationships with mutual benefit, those last. Lu Xiaoya is my only supplier. If she dies because she had no way to defend herself, my torch business dies with her. One shield now could mean months of cotton later. And if I'm wrong about her character, if she turns out to be unreliable or dishonest, then I lost one shield. One shield to evaluate a person's worth. That's the cheapest background check in history. She accepts the trade. Her response is short, no need for fancy words. Thank you, and I can tell she means it. Something in the directness feels genuine. Not the performative gratitude of someone keeping score, but the real kind, from someone who maybe hasn't received many gifts in her life. Good. Partnership solidified. Cotton supply locked in. Tomorrow I can spend less time gathering fiber and more time on what actually matters. Training my mysterious void blade technique, searching for treasure chests, and preparing for whatever nightmare the world throws at me when the newbie protection drops at midnight. Speaking of which, midnight is coming fast. In a few hours, every monster in this world stops pretending I don't exist. My shelter stops being invisible. The safety net disappears, and the real survival game begins. And somewhere out there, Zhang Biao is building a little empire of frightened people, probably planning to use them as human shields or resource farms. Xiaohua is stewing in anger, ready to do something stupid. And 997 survivors in my area are about to find out what this world really looks like. Me? I'm going to sit in my upgraded cabin, sharpen my Tang sword, count my torches, and wait. I've been preparing for 3 days. I've got weapons, skills, stats, a business, a supplier, and the quiet confidence of a man who outsmarted a wasp colony with nothing but weeds and fire. Whatever comes next, I'm not the same scared shut-in who tripped into this world clutching a crystal ball. Let them come. So I finish trading the shield to Lu Xiaoya, dust off my hands, and think, okay, productive evening, time to, ding. System notification. Someone tagged me in the area channel. I open it up and it's Zhang Biao. Zhang Biao, Scarface Pyramid Scheme King himself, publicly calling me out in front of the entire zone. His message is basically, hey at Xinsei, lots of people in our area don't have torches. We're all neighbors here, we should help each other out. Tell you what, give me your torches first, I'll send you 50 units of materials now, and I'll pay the rest tomorrow. Tomorrow. This man wants me to hand over my entire inventory on a promise. That's not a trade, that's a mugging with extra steps. Give me your stuff now, and trust me bro, said every scammer in human history, from snake oil salesman to Nigerian princes. But oh, it gets better. Because Zhang Biao doesn't come alone. He comes with his army of sycophants, and they pile on like vultures on a carcass. Zhang Biao is right. We all need torches. Just give them to him, and he'll distribute fairly. Yeah, making torches doesn't even take effort for you. It's just clicking a button on the workbench. Think of it as community service. I already gave MY materials to Zhang Biao, so you should give your torches too. Come on at Xinsei, say something. I'm reading this with my jaw slowly dropping toward the floor. Let me get this straight. These people want me to provide my own materials, spend my own time crafting, hand everything over to Zhang Biao for free, and feel grateful for the privilege? That's not community spirit. That's slavery with a motivational poster taped on top. Then Zhang Biao drops the cherry on this trash sundae. Tell you what, Xinsei, join the Blood Fiend Alliance. I'll make you vice leader. You make torches, you earn contribution points. Everyone wins. His followers immediately start cheerleading. Wow, vice leader. Xinsei, you'd be crazy to say no. Zhang Biao is so generous. Don't be ungrateful. This is an amazing opportunity. An amazing opportunity. To work for free. As second in command of a gang run by a guy whose face looks like it lost an argument with a knife. In what universe is this appealing? This is like being offered the title of head dishwasher at a restaurant that doesn't pay its employees. Congratulations, you're Employee of the Month at Exploitation Inc. Now I understand exactly what Xiaohua felt. These people aren't stupid, they're worse than stupid. They're strategically malicious. They know what they're doing. The Blood Fiend Alliance controls the conversation, drowns out dissenters, and uses social pressure like a weapon. If I say no politely, they'll twist it into, Chen Ci is selfish. If I ignore them, they'll escalate until I can't. It's a lose-lose designed to force compliance. But here's the thing about me. I don't lose gracefully. I lose loudly. I type my response. You want torches? Go to the trading channel and buy them like everyone else. I don't have the time or interest to play house with you people. The Blood Fiend Alliance? What kind of bargain bin organization thinks it's qualified to recruit me? And a word of advice to everyone else. Rely on yourselves. Depending on bottom feeders will only end in regret. Send. I close the area channel without reading a single reply. Whatever's happening in there right now is probably a nuclear meltdown of insults, and I have absolutely zero interest in watching my name get dragged through the mud by people whose survival strategy is beg the scary man for scraps, let them scream into the void. I've got work to do. Ding. Another notification. I swear if this is Zhang Biao again, I'm going to. Oh, it's a private message. From someone named Wang Zixuan. Number 38 in our area. Hey Chimbro, we're in the same zone. I'm Xiaohua's classmate. I raise an eyebrow. Xiaohua's friend? Interesting. I ask what's up. Turns out Wang Zixuan has a proposition. The area channel is a wasteland. Blood Fiend Alliance controls the narrative. Useful information is non-existent, and anyone who disagrees gets mobbed. So he and Xiaohua created a private chat group. Small, invite only, 10 people maximum. No organization, no hierarchy, no join our cult energy. Just a handful of reliable survivors sharing resources and information. He found the group creation item in a treasure chest today. Smart kid. I think about it for roughly 3 seconds. A small private group with no leadership structure, resource sharing at fair prices, and the ability to leave whenever I want. That's not joining an organization. That's joining a group chat. Even a devoted solo player like me can handle a group chat. Sure, add me. The group comes alive. Wang Zixuan welcomes me. Xiaohua pops in with a casual, another new person, Lu Igua. The helpful reposting uncle says hello. And then there's Lu Yang, who immediately asks, are you an ability user? Do you have powers? I frown so hard my eyebrows nearly merge. I just got here and you're asking me to strip naked? What kind of introduction is this? Hi. Welcome to the group. Please share your deepest secrets immediately. This is like a dating app that skips straight to, what's your credit score? Wang Zixuan jumps in to explain. Don't mind Lu Yang. He's the only one in the group who didn't awaken a power. He asks every new member. Oh, he's not being nosy. He's being insecure. That's weirdly endearing. I tell them I don't have any special abilities, which is technically a lie, but strategically it's the truth. My synthesis talent is unique, one of a kind in the entire world. If I announce that, I paint a target on my back the size of a billboard. Trust is earned over time, not handed out on day one like Halloween candy. I'll share when I'm ready, and right now I am not ready. Lu Yang's response. Chenbiaro, you're my real brother. Different fathers, different mothers, but brothers in spirit. This guy is an absolute goofball, and I can't decide if I love him or want to mute him. Wang Zixuan introduces everyone properly. Xiaohua, fireball power, strong fighter. No special resources near his shelter, but he'll hunt monsters for meat once the protection drops. Lu Yang, no abilities but sitting on an exposed iron mine. Lu Igua, retired military, superhuman strength, burst ability, has coal and stone near his base. Song Yerui, a doctor with some plant-related ability she hasn't figured out yet, and she has a blueprint for vine armor. And Wang Zixuan himself has Eagle Eye, enhanced vision for spotting resources in the wild. Iron, coal, meat, stone, vine armor, scouting. This group has everything I need, and I have what they need: torches, shields, and water access. It's like we were designed to complement each other. The universe might be chaotic, but it occasionally produces beautiful symmetry. I introduce myself carefully. River nearby for water, torch, and shield blueprints. No mention of synthesis. No mention of the bow, the blade technique, or the blood lingji. Need to know basis. I'm friendly, but I'm not a fool. Everyone wants shields. Lu Yang practically begs. Brother, I will give you everything I own. I sell them at a slight group discount. For iron each instead of the market rate of 5. Think of it, as a new member red envelope. Everyone trades, everyone's happy, and I walk away with iron, coal, and a vine armor that might save my life tomorrow. Business handled. Everyone logs off to prepare for the protection deadline. No idle chit-chat. I like these people already. Now, back to the real grind. I queue 120 torches on the workbench and check the trading channel. My earlier batch of 180 torches? Gone. Every single one. Sold out. The transaction log is a beautiful waterfall of 8 wood and 6 stone notifications. Total haul, 800 wood for 180 stone, just from torches. While I was sitting in my cabin having drama with Zhang Biao and joining a group chat. Passive income, baby. I'm making resources while arguing with idiots. This is the dream. My vault now stands at 953 wood and 705 stone. Once the current batch of 120 torches sells, I'll break 1,000 on both. 1,000 units. 3 days ago, I had literally nothing, not even pants without holes, and now I'm one of the wealthiest survivors in the area. The torch monopoly works. Still no glass, though. Nobody's selling glass anywhere. It's the rarest material on the market, and I need 2 units for the shelter upgrade. Frustrating, but I'll figure it out. While the torches build, I browse the market. It's gotten way more diverse today. People are selling all kinds of wild stuff. Someone's got an iron sword, either from a blueprint or an ability, hard to tell. Multiple alliances are throwing absurd resources at anyone with blueprints, trying to monopolize production. A water purifier blueprint pops up, and within minutes, there's a bidding war between 3 different alliances offering weapons, food, iron, and leadership positions. Single survivors like me can't compete with that kind of buying power. The alliances are becoming economic powerhouses, and it's only day 3. Then I spot something perfect. A little desk lamp. Made in Yiwu, the dollar store capital of Blue Star. 8 hours of battery life. Nice white light. Way better than a torch for indoor use. The seller wants a weapon in exchange. I message them. I've got a shield. Not enough. Add 10 iron. I channel my inner used car salesman. Your lamp dies after 8 hours and becomes a paperweight. My shield lasts forever. With a shield and a wooden spear from the workbench, you can handle most threats. If anything, you should be adding value to this deal. Back and forth, haggle, and finally, fine. Shield only. Deal or no deal? Deal. I grab the lamp, plug it into my solar power bank. Remember that random charger I found earlier that seemed useless? And suddenly my entire cabin is bathed in clean white light. No flickering, no smoke, no 2-hour time limit. The seller thought they were trading a disposable item. For me, with the solar charger, this lamp is permanent. Infinite light for the cost of 1 shield. This is why you never throw anything away. Today's junk is tomorrow's game changer. The lamp seller has no idea they just made the worst trade of their apocalypse career. I sit at my desk, under my beautiful electric light, in my 3-room cabin, counting my resources and waiting for midnight. The torches are building. The money is flowing. The group chat is solid. My sword is sharp and my body is strong. Somewhere out there, Zhang Biao is plotting, Xiaohua is fuming, and 1,000 survivors are praying they're ready for what comes next. Me? I just hustled a lamp out of someone for a wooden circle, and I'm charging it with sunshine. I think I'm going to be fine. First order of business tonight. Sell 25 torches to my group chat buddies for iron, then dump the remaining 95 onto the market at 1 iron each. I also slap a desperate, buying glass, please, anyone, note in the description because I still can't find those 2 units anywhere. Glass in this world is rarer than common sense in the area channel. With 47 iron blocks in hand, I queue up a full batch of shields on the workbench. And then, for the first time since arriving, I find myself with nothing urgent to do. No trees to attack. No wasps to commit arson against. No Zhang Biao trying to steal my inventory through the power of peer pressure. Just me, my cabin, and an itchy curiosity about my synthesis ability. Time to experiment. I hit the trading channel and buy 5 snake skins for 5 stone. Cheap. Nobody wants snake skins because nobody knows what to do with them. But I do. I've got a magic furnace in my brain and a theory to test. I summon the synthesis furnace. Main material, small round shield. Supporting materials, 6 snake skins. The display reads, 81% success rate, 77% mutation rate. 77% mutation? That's insane. My first synthesis with matching stone materials had a 1% mutation chance. But mixing wooden iron shield with organic snake skin? The furnace is basically saying, I have no idea what's going to come out of this, and honestly, I'm excited too. Different material types must dramatically increase mutation probability. Mental note filed. I hit confirm. The furnace drinks my mental energy like a dehydrated camel at an oasis. My brain instantly goes foggy. Orange light floods the furnace, not blue like last time. Orange. That means the result is at least rare quality. My hands are shaking. This could be something incredible or something incredibly useless, and the 15-minute wait is killing me. Clang. A shield drops onto my table. Snakeskin shield. Tier 1. Rare quality. 2 attributes. 60% increased block success rate and 1 constitution to the wearer. I have to read it 3 times to make sure I'm not hallucinating from mental exhaustion. Rare. Orange tier. 2 whole bonus stats. The shield's surface is covered in genuine snakeskin with a pattern that looks both creepy and beautiful, like fashion designed by a reptile with good taste. I strap it onto my arm and immediately feel the constitution boost. My tang sword feels lighter. My body feels tighter. 1 point of constitution doesn't sound like much on paper, but when you've spent your whole life at below average fitness, every point hits different. This shield is better than anything I've seen on the market. Better than anything anyone in my group has. And I made it from a basic wooden circle and some snake leather that cost me 5 stone. The synthesis furnace isn't just good, it's broken. In the best possible way. If I can do this consistently with better materials, I could produce equipment that entire alliances would go to war over. My confidence is through the roof. So naturally, I do what any reasonable person would do. I immediately push my luck further. I blow a chunk of my wood savings buying random blue-quality junk from the trading channel. Stuff nobody wants. Stuff that's been sitting unsold because it seems useless. To everyone else, it's trash. To me, it's synthesis fuel. First experiment. I throw a miniature toy furniture set into the furnace as the main material, along with some fabric scraps and cotton. The furnace glows blue, processes for a few minutes, and out comes a wedding bed 3-piece set. Blue quality. 30% sleep quality. Full-sized. Real. The furnace took a children's toy and turned it into a real bed set. A real, human-sized, comfortable bed set with actual blankets and pillows. The system description asks, will you marry me? In sickness and in sickness? Because apparently even my furniture is lonely. I'm standing here holding actual bedding. Soft, warm, real bedding. Made from a plastic dollhouse toy. The synthesis furnace can turn fake things into real things. It doesn't just upgrade items. It can fundamentally transform them. The implications are staggering. If I find toy weapons, can I make real ones? Toy armor? Model buildings? The possibilities are making my head spin, and not just from the mental energy drain. I toss the bedding onto my wooden bed and immediately feel like a king. 3 days of sleeping on bare wood planks, and now I have pillows. Civilization has been restored, one synthesis at a time. One more? Just one more. I know I'm pushing it. My mental energy is getting dangerously low. But I have the dead elite wasp queen from the Hornet battle, and I have an idea. A crazy, beautiful, potentially game-changing idea. Main material, a basic beehive box I bought from the market. Supporting materials, the elite wasp queen corpse, 6 blue-quality ant specimens, a banyan tree seed, and a butterfly specimen. All bugs and nature items. All blue quality. Success rate, 80%. Mutation rate, 60%. Confirm. The furnace rips 2 full points of mental energy out of my skull. My vision blurs. My brain feels like someone scooped out half of it with an ice cream scoop. I have 1 point of mental energy left. 1. If a mosquito looked at me aggressively right now, I might faint. Orange light fills the furnace again. Rare quality incoming. But this synthesis takes forever. Not minutes, an entire hour. I spend 60 agonizing minutes fighting to stay conscious, pinching myself, slapping my own face, doing everything short of sticking my head in a bucket of cold water. I'm nodding off every 30 seconds like a student in a 3 p.m. lecture about tax law. My body is screaming for sleep, but my brain is screaming louder. Stay awake. You need to see what comes out. Finally. The furnace stings. Venomous king beehive. Tier 2. Rare quality. 2 attributes. Bee attraction, Massively lures bee swarms to the hive, and queen level 1. The hive's queen gets promoted 1 full tier. I forget how to breathe for approximately 4 seconds. This is a tier 2 item. I'm a tier 0 human, and I just created something 2 whole levels above me. And it's not just equipment, it's a strategic weapon. This beehive works like a gladiator arena. Once 1,000 bees gather, it activates cultivation mode, where the bees fight each other until a champion emerges as the new queen. And the queen gets a free level up from the hive's attribute. If I fill this with tier 1 venomous bees someday, the queen would become tier 2. An entire army of killer bees under my command, led by an elite tier queen. I am going to be the bee warlord of this world, and nobody can stop me. I shove the beehive into my inventory with trembling hands, grinning like a maniac despite the splitting headache. Then I stumble to the workbench, somehow manage to list all 47 shields on the trading channel at 6 iron or 1 glass each, and practically crawl to my bed. My last conscious thought before face-planting into my beautiful new pillow is, never do 3 syntheses in a row again. You absolute idiot. Darkness. Sweet, sweet, pillow-enhanced darkness. Bang, 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 screech. I jolt awake like someone plugged me into a wall socket. My brain is screaming with residual pain from the mental energy drain. Something is hitting my front door. Something is clawing at the wood. Deep breaths. Focus. I didn't take off my vine armor before sleeping. Thank God for paranoia. So I grab my tang sword, strap on my snakeskin shield, and creep toward the bedroom door like the world's most terrified ninja. It's still dark outside. Through the workshop window, I see it. A leopard. A 2-meter-long, muscle-bound, extremely angry leopard, scratching at my front door like a cat that wants to be let in. Except this cat weighs more than I do and has teeth designed specifically for removing faces from skulls. The system helpfully identifies it. Hungry leopard. Tier 0. Elite class. Ability. Beast roar. Description. It's been locked away by a mysterious force for 3 days, starving. It found you and made its choice. What's yours? 3 days. The newbie protection kept this thing caged somewhere, hungry, for 3 entire days. And the moment the clock hit midnight and the protection dropped, it came straight for the nearest food source. Which is me. I'm the midnight snack. The universe literally gift-wrapped a starving apex predator and delivered it to my doorstep as a congratulations on surviving orientation present. The leopard turns its head. Our eyes meet through the window. Roar. The beast roar ability hits me like a psychic slap. My body freezes. Every primitive monkey brain instinct screams run, climb a tree, play dead, anything. For 1 terrible second, I'm paralyzed. The leopard launches through the window. Time slows down. I see the jaws opening. I see the claws extending. I see my entire life. My parents, the orphanage, the lonely apartment, the apocalypse, this stupid, wonderful, terrifying world, flash before my eyes in high definition. And then something snaps me awake. Maybe it's the bite on my tongue. Maybe it's pure survival instinct. Maybe it's the fact that I absolutely refuse to die in my pajamas on day 4. I kick off the wall and throw myself backward. The leopard's jaws snap shut on empty air where my head was a millisecond ago. It crashes into the room, scrambling on the stone floor. But it's smart, too smart. Instead of charging blindly into my supply-filled front room where it'd lose maneuverability, it backs up to the window frame and crouches, watching me. We're in a standoff. Predator and prey, separated by 5 meters of tension and mutual murder intent. It won't come inside where it can't dodge. I need to make it come to me. I coat my tang sword with the snake venom from my inventory. Poison blade, because fighting fair is for people who aren't facing a hungry leopard at 3 a.m. with 1 point of mental energy and a migraine. I stride to the front door, clear the path by pulling iron blocks into my inventory, and throw the door open. Then I back up, shield raised, sword ready. The leopard circles around to the door, stands in the entrance, crouches. Its muscles coil like springs. Come on then, I scream, drop low behind my shield, and charge forward. The leopard twitches backward, surprised that the prey is attacking, then launches itself at me, claws out, mouth open. My snakeskin shield catches the first swipe. Bang! The impact nearly knocks me off my feet. This thing hits like a freight train made of fur and hatred. But the shield holds. 60% block rate isn't just numbers, it's the difference between alive, and modern art. I swing the tang sword. Mysterious void blade technique activates like muscle memory. 2 slashes, fast as thought, carve into the leopard's back. Blood sprays. The leopard screams, but doesn't stop. It swipes again, and again, and again. Bang, bang, bang. Shield, slash, shield, slash. We exchange blows in a brutal, ugly, desperate dance. It's nothing like the movies. There's no graceful swordplay, no dramatic poses. Just raw violence, heavy breathing, and the constant terror that one mistake means death. When we separate, the leopard has 7 bleeding gashes across its body. The venom is working. I can see it stumbling slightly, its movements getting sluggish. I have 2 claw marks through my vine armor. Shallow, stinging, bleeding, but not deep enough to slow me down. The vine armor absorbed most of the damage. Thank you, Song Yerui. That trade just saved my life. I back up slowly, resetting my stance, keeping the shield between us. The leopard is hurt. I'm hurt. But I have better equipment, a poisoned sword, and the calm certainty of a man who just realized something important. I can win this. The leopard and I stare each other down like 2 cowboys in a bad western, except one cowboy is a sweaty shut-in with a snake venom sword, and the other is a 2-meter murder cat with anger management issues. I'm waiting. Patience. Let the poison do its job. And it does. The leopard's movements start getting sloppy. A slight wobble. A delayed reaction. Its eyes lose that razor-sharp hunter focus. Snake venom. Nature's performance debuffing potion. Thank you, dead bamboo viper from 3 days ago. You tried to kill me, and now your leftover juice is saving my life. Circle of life, baby. Hakuna Matata. The moment I see the leopard sway, I attack. No hesitation. Mysterious void blade technique flows through my arms like I've been practicing for years instead of one frantic evening. The leopard tries to dodge, but its body betrays it. Too slow, too clumsy, too poisoned. My tang sword carves through its neck in a brutal arc. One clean strike. Nearly takes the whole head off. The leopard drops. The fight is over. I stand there for a long moment, breathing hard, bleeding from 2 claw marks, covered in sweat and leopard blood, in the middle of my trashed living room at God knows what hour of the night. My mental energy is still at rock bottom from the synthesis marathon earlier. My body is running on adrenaline and spite. I use the harvest skill on the leopard before my legs give out. 1 blue quality beast hide. 1 blue quality fawn. 5 units of meat. Not bad for a midnight death match I didn't ask for. Then the system drops a bombshell. Congratulations, Survivor CI. First trial completed. Rating, perfect. Reward, silver treasure chest X1. A silver chest materializes in front of me. Not wood. Not bronze. Silver. The highest tier chest I've ever seen. I don't even know what's in silver chests because nobody in world chat has mentioned getting one. I'm either incredibly lucky or incredibly reckless, and at this point those 2 things might be the same. I set the chest aside because I am not opening it while my brain feels like mashed potatoes. Instead, I check the system notifications that have been piling up like unread emails. The news is a lot. First, newbie protection officially ended. Yeah, the leopard made that very clear. Thanks. Second, all seals lifted, animals, weather, mutated creatures. So not only are regular animals roaming free now, but mutated ones too. And weather. Weather is unsealed. What does that even mean? Was the weather fake this whole time? Were we living in a climate-controlled terrarium? What is this world? Third, monthly fixed trial at the end of each month. Beast siege. Countdown, 27 days. A siege. Beasts attacking my shelter. In less than a month. The leopard was a pop quiz. The siege is the final exam. Fourth, and this is the one that makes my stomach drop. Acid rain trial detected. Countdown, 7 days. Acid. Rain. In 7 days. The sky is going to cry death juice on my wooden cabin in 1 week. My beautiful, freshly upgraded, still technically made of wood cabin. Unless I upgrade again and get some actual protection, my house is going to dissolve like sugar in hot tea. And me with it. No pressure. I open my group chat to check on everyone. Xiaohua is, of course, flexing. He fought a tiger and posted a selfie with the corpse, grinning like he just won a gaming tournament. The system description says, ancient times had Wu Song fighting a tiger. Today has Xiaohua slaying one. This kid's ego is going to need its own zip code soon. Lu Yang got attacked by a dog, a blackback dog. His pride is visibly wounded in text form. Why did I get a dog? Is my combat rating that low? Yes, Lu Yang. Yes, it is. But you're alive, and that's what matters. Also, it's hilarious. Wang Zixuan fought a hyena. Lu Igua, the retired military guy, handled a python, because of course the soldier gets the serious predator. Song Yarui, the quiet doctor, got a weakened wolf and nearly had a heart attack, but survived. Everyone in the group made it through. We're all alive. In a world where a quarter of our area just died, that's worth celebrating. Because yeah, the area channel lost nearly 300 people. We went from 997 to just over 700 in one night. 1 in 4 survivors failed, either killed by their trial beast, bled out from injuries, or, worst case, were still hiding in their unupgraded shelters when the protection dropped and got eaten in their sleep. The area chat is a war zone of screaming, begging, and desperate trading. Does anyone have medicine? I'll pay anything. I'm bleeding out. Please someone help. I lost an arm, but I'm not crying about it. See you all in 18 years. Okay, that guy is either incredibly tough or incredibly in shock. Medicine prices go absolutely nuclear. Every healing item that hits the market gets bought in under a second. People are throwing their best treasures, blueprints, weapons, rare materials, at anyone with a bandage. It's chaos. Beautiful, profitable chaos. I spot an opportunity immediately. Someone is selling a backpack blueprint and wants medicine in exchange. A backpack. That's not just useful, that's essential. More carrying capacity means more resources per trip, means faster progression. I check the blueprint, and it's solid. I still have that basic healing salve from the bronze chest. The one for cuts and bruises. The seller has claw wounds, external injuries. Perfect match. I message them. I've got a wound salve. Works on exactly your kind of injury. The seller responds instantly. They've been refreshing their notifications every 3 seconds, clearly in pain and panicking. We skipped the haggling entirely. In normal circumstances, a healing salve is worth way less than a blueprint. But these aren't normal circumstances. This is a trauma ward with an economy attached. Trade complete. Backpack blueprint acquired. Someone somewhere is applying medicine to their wounds and sighing with relief. Win-win. I saved a life and got a blueprint. Capitalism with a heart. Or at least capitalism with convenient timing. The backpack needs 1 beast hide and 2 rope-type materials. I have the hide from the leopard, but no rope yet. Something to solve tomorrow. I check my shield sales from earlier, 240 iron and 7 glass. 7 glass. Someone actually had glass and traded it for shields. I've been searching for glass since day 2 like it was the holy grail, and it just casually appears in my transaction log. I need 2 for the shelter upgrade, and now I have 7. I want to cry. Happy tears. The kind you shed when the download finally hits 100% after 3 days of buffering. The area channel is predictably awful. Bloodfiend Alliance is thriving off the chaos. Their members are posting about some life-saving treasure that Zhang Biao supposedly gave them. Use Zhang Biao's gift if you can't beat the trial. Zhang Biao saved my life. I still have no idea what this mystery item is, and it's driving me crazy. How does a guy who's been here the same 3 days as everyone else have enough special items to hand out like candy? Something is deeply wrong with that picture, but I don't have enough information to figure it out. The few people calling out the Bloodfiend Alliance as exploitative get buried under an avalanche of grateful supporters. The cult grows stronger. Zhang Biao is building a loyal army out of terrified people, and fear is the best recruiter in history. I close the channel. Can't fix stupid, won't try. I've got a silver chest to open. Red glow. The lid lifts. 3 light orbs float inside. My heart is hammering so hard the leopard might hear it from the afterlife. Right orb first. I crush it. 200 kilograms of flour. Flour. Premium wheat flour. The description says it's top quality, aromatic, perfect for noodles and bread. And I, a northern Chinese man who has been eating dry cardboard rations for 4 days, nearly burst into tears on the spot. I haven't had noodles since Blue Star burned. I haven't had steamed buns. I haven't had anything made of wheat. My stomach has been filing missing persons reports for proper carbohydrates since I arrived. 200 kilos of flour is enough to last months. It's not glamorous loot. It's not a magic sword or a legendary artifact. But in a world where everyone is starving on trail mix and mystery meat, flour is gold. Flour is currency. Flour is my emotional support carbohydrate. Also, once the trading market calms down, freshly made bread or noodles would sell for absurd prices. Everyone else is eating raw fruit and dry biscuits. I could open a restaurant. Chef Chin's post-apocalyptic noodle bar. You kill it. I'll cook it. Second orb. Crush. Diamond body breathing technique. Tier 1. Perfect quality. Red tier. 3 bonus attributes. I have to sit down. Attribute 1. Body strengthening. Practicing permanently increases constitution. Permanently. An endless stat boost as long as I keep training. No cap mentioned. No limit. Just keep breathing the special way and keep getting tougher. Attribute 2. Evil resistance. High resistance to charm, mind control, and mental manipulation abilities. Remember the leopard's beast roar that froze me solid? With this technique, that would bounce off me like a rubber ball off a brick wall. Attribute 3. Diamond body. An active skill that creates a full-body protective barrier when activated. A force field. Made of breathing. I could literally become a human tank by breathing correctly. This is the single most valuable item I've received since arriving in this world. It's a cultivation technique, a real one. The kind of thing martial arts novels are built around. Train it long enough, and I could become virtually unkillable. The defense-focused gamer in me is salivating. I've always believed that surviving is more important than doing damage. You can't deal damage if you're dead. And this technique is built for survival. One problem. It requires a base constitution of 8 to start practicing. I'm at 6. The snakeskin shield's 1 doesn't count as base stats. I need 2 more real constitution points from somewhere. A supernatural fruit, another bloodlingji, or enough training to naturally raise my stats. So close yet so far. The technique goes into inventory storage, filed under, urgent. Get stronger immediately. If only I had a couple more stat-boosting items. I whisper into the empty, blood-stained cabin like a man praying to the loot gods. Last orb. Crush it. Charcoal blueprint. Makes charcoal from wood. 1 wood in, 1 charcoal out. Blue quality with a long-lasting burn attribute. The description says it's a barbecue essential. I stare at it. After flour and a legendary breathing technique, the universe hands me charcoal for barbecue. It's hot outside. I don't have a grill. I don't have time for leisure cooking. This is like getting socks for Christmas after unwrapping a PlayStation. Technically useful? Sure. Emotionally devastating after what came before? Absolutely. I shrug and load it into the workbench anyway. Maybe it'll be useful later. Winter is coming eventually. Or maybe I'll actually have time to barbecue someday. In between fighting leopards, dodging acid rain, and running a torch empire. I stack iron blocks against the front door as a makeshift barricade, lay my Tang sword next to my pillow, keep my vine armor on, and collapse into my bed, my beautiful, synthesis-upgraded bed with actual blankets and pillows. Tomorrow, upgrade the shelter to level 2. Prepare for acid rain. Find a way to boost my constitution to 8 so I can start the diamond body technique. Continue the torch business. Maybe learn how to make noodles. Tonight, sleep like the dead, except I actually plan to wake up. The leopard blood on my floor can wait until morning. I'm too tired to mop and too proud to care. Day 4 in the ruins world. Score. Chun Ci 1, Leopard 0, Sleep Deprivation 847, My Sanity. Declining but functional. I wake up to cold air slapping me in the face like the universe reminding me that comfort was never part of the deal. The moment I open my bedroom door, a chilly breeze cuts right through my vine armor, and I shiver so hard my teeth almost file a noise complaint. It's getting cold. We arrived in late summer and apparently the ruins world said, okay, tutorial's over, here's autumn. Good luck not freezing to death. During the newbie protection, the weather was perfectly pleasant. Room temperature, gentle breezes, basically a resort. Now the world is showing its true colors, and those colors are gray and hostile. I do what's become my morning ritual. Open chat, eat cardboard rations, and scroll through other people's problems for entertainment. But today there's something different. A pinned post at the top of world chat. Pinned. I didn't even know that was possible. Turns out there's an item called a world megaphone that lets you pin a message for an entire day. And the person who used it is my man Shi Yang, the survival expert who posted that legendary guide on day 1. His new post is basically a State of the Union address for the apocalypse. Point 1. The wild animals are back, and they're everywhere. He scouted a 1-kilometer radius around his shelter before dawn and found rabbits, squirrels, goats, cute stuff, but also lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, these animals shouldn't even exist in the same ecosystem. Lions and rabbits don't exactly share a neighborhood on Blue Star. His theory? The animals got Isekai'd here too, same as us, and now we're all competing for the same resources in a brand new food chain. Except we have shelters, and they have murder claws. Fair trade. Point 2. The climate control is off. Winter is coming, and based on current temperature trends, it's going to be brutal. Not mild southern winter. Not even normal northern winter. He's talking about the kind of cold that makes your bones file for divorce from your body. We need to start stockpiling warm clothes, heating fuel, and food now, because once the snow hits, gathering resources outside is going to become exponentially harder. Point 3. And this is the big one. The acid rain in 7 days is going to be a disaster. Extended rain means you can't go outside. Can't go outside means no gathering. No gathering means no food. No food means desperate animals and desperate humans. He's basically predicting a famine within the first 2 weeks of our new lives. Lovely. Just lovely. The good news? Level 2 shelters are made of stone. Stone doesn't dissolve in acid rain. Stone has fireplaces for heating. Level 3 is presumably even better. The message is crystal clear: upgrade or die. Again. Still. Forever. The comments under his post are the usual mix of grateful survivors, helpful additions, and one spectacular idiot who goes, puffed. Everyone knows we need to upgrade. Tell us something new. The idiot promptly gets destroyed by 6 different people telling him to shut up and show some respect. Chat justice is swift and brutal in the ruins world. I finish my dry rations, hopefully for the last time, and check my inventory. Wood, 859. Stone, 700. Iron, 335. Glass, 7. The level 2 upgrade needs 200 wood, 200 stone, 10 iron, and 2 glass. I have more than enough for the base upgrade. Way more. And apparently, having extra materials unlocks something special. Confirm upgrade to level 2. The system pauses. Then hits me with something I did not expect. Surplus materials detected. Would you like to enhance shelter facilities? A menu appears. An actual menu. Like a real estate developer's options list for a luxury condo. I'm not upgrading a survival shelter. I'm buying a house. With upgrades. Individual rooms, each with their own material costs and bonus features. Bedroom. Wooden floor, double bed, power outlet reserved. Kitchen. Iron cookware, stove, water, and power outlets. Living room. Fireplace, real furniture, wooden floor, power outlet. Workshop. Upgraded workbench that can craft with different materials and produce higher quality items. Storage. 2-dimensional shelves with 20 slots each, 40 extra inventory spaces. Bathroom. Shower system with a rooftop stone water tank. I stare at this list like a first-time homebuyer who just discovered the difference between basic and fully furnished. The system is straight up running a real estate scam. Oh, you thought the upgrade came with walls and a roof? That's the unfurnished package, sir. Furniture costs extra. Hot water costs extra. Not living like a caveman. That's the premium tier. So the regular upgrade is basically a concrete shell, and I have to pay to make it livable? This is literally every apartment developer on Blue Star. I'm simultaneously outraged and impressed. The ruins world has property developers. We've been here 4 days and capitalism has already found a way. The smart move would be to pick and choose, save materials for other things, be strategic about which upgrades to, all of them. Upgrade everything. Look, I've been sleeping on a wooden plank. I've been eating cold dry rations for 4 days. I've been using a river as my bathroom. I fought a leopard in my living room 8 hours ago. I have earned hot showers and a kitchen stove and a real bed. My 4 blueprints will generate income anyway, and the system clearly designed these upgrades for a reason. If it's offering me a fireplace, it's because I'm going to need a fireplace. Winter is coming, and I am not going to be the idiot who froze to death because he was too cheap to install heating. White light engulfs my shelter. Materials vanish from the ground in waves. 10 minutes of glowing later, I'm standing in front of a stone house. 200 square meters. Double the previous size. built from seamless blue-gray stone that looks like it was carved from a single massive boulder. The roof has a stone water tank integrated so smoothly it looks architectural rather than practical. Every window has iron bar protection grills. No more leopards diving through my glass like action movie villains. I walk inside and my jaw literally drops. The living room has real furniture. A proper table, proper chairs, all matching the room's style like an interior designer was involved. The fireplace sits in the center of the room. 3 square meters of stone hearth with internal pipe systems that distribute heat to every room through the walls. Central heating. In a survival world. I could cry. The kitchen, an actual stove, iron pots and pans, utensils, cutting boards, everything I need to cook real food. No more dry rations. No more cold meals. I have flour. I have a stove. Somewhere in the intersection of those two facts exists the promise of fresh noodles, and that promise is keeping me alive emotionally. The bedroom has a double bed, an actual mattress-looking situation. Combined with my synthesis-created wedding bedding set, this is going to be the most comfortable sleep setup in probably the entire area. From wooden plank to king-size comfort in 4 days. The audacity of my upgrade trajectory. The bathroom has a shower. With the rooftop water tank, I can actually take real showers instead of standing naked in a river, hoping no fish see me. Privacy. Warm water potential if I heat it. Civilization has been fully restored. The storage room automatically organized all my scattered supplies onto dimensional shelves. Everything neat, everything accessible, 40 extra storage slots. My previous, dump everything on the floor, system has been replaced by actual shelving. Marie Kondo would be proud. But the real game changer is the workshop. The upgraded workbench can now produce items with different materials and at higher quality tiers. And this is massive. It now has 2 new weapon blueprints built in. Iron swords and iron spears. Iron weapons. System provided. No blueprint needed. The system wants us to fight. It's not trying to watch us suffer on the edge of death for entertainment. It's actively pushing us to get stronger, build better, fight harder. Every upgrade comes with better tools, better crafting, better survival odds. Whatever the Ruins world's purpose is, it needs us alive and capable. That's actually reassuring. In a, you're being fattened up for something kind of way. I check the level 3 requirements and immediately pump the brakes. 500 wood, 500 stone, 50 iron, 20 glass. Those are manageable. But it also needs a defensive building, a resource building, and something called an altar with 0 description. I have blueprints for fences and an arrow tower, so defensive building is covered. But resource building and altar? Nothing in the market. Nothing in my inventory. Those are going to require more exploring, more treasure chests, and probably more near-death experiences. For now, I hold off on building the fence and arrow tower. The materials need to be reserved for torches and shields, my income generators. Besides, my stone walls are probably tougher than a basic fence anyway. I message Lu Xiaoya to check in. She survived her trial, got lucky with a weakened beast, but now there are wild animals everywhere near her cotton field, and she's worried about gathering today. I tell her not to stress about quotas. Safety first, cotton second. Then I offer to craft her some iron spears since my workbench can make them now. She gets emotional. Didn't expect me to arm my supplier instead of pressuring her for product. But I'm not being generous. I'm being strategic. A dead supplier produces 0 cotton. An armed supplier produces cotton and stays alive to produce more cotton. This is supply chain management, not charity. The fact that it also happens to be the decent thing to do is a nice bonus. She sends materials. I craft 5 iron spears. She wants them as throwing weapons since her ability works better at range, and I ship them over. One more. Remember to call me if you're in danger, and I close the chat. Back in the trading channel, I run a market check and discover something alarming. Other people are selling torches now, and iron weapons, and spears. The trial shook loose a lot of blueprints. My torch monopoly is officially dead. 3 beautiful days of being the only fire merchant in the apocalypse, and now every other survivor with a workbench upgrade is competing with me. Rest in peace, Torch Empire. You were glorious while you lasted. The shields still have good margins, though. IQ 200 more on the upgraded workbench. The production is smoother and faster now with the better equipment, and settle in for the day. No going outside today. The post-trial animal situation is basically a zoo with no fences. Every hungry beast that was sealed away for 3 days is roaming around looking for breakfast, and I have no intention of being on anyone's menu. Instead, I'm going to do something I've been postponing since I got that skill book. Train. I walk out to the flat ground in front of my beautiful new stone house, draw my Tang sword, and begin practicing the mysterious void blade technique. The morning air is cool. The mountains rise behind me. The blade feels like an extension of my arm. 76% proficient. I need to push it higher. Much higher. The diamond body breathing technique needs 8 constitution to start, and my blade technique grants 2 constitution at mastery. Every percentage point of practice brings me closer to unlocking the most important item in my inventory. Swing. Step. Turn. Slash. Repeat. For the first time since arriving in this world, I'm not scrambling, not panicking, not running from snakes or fighting leopards or arguing with cult leaders. I'm just training, getting stronger, preparing. The acid rain comes in 7 days. Winter comes after that. Beast sieges come monthly. Zhang Biao is building an army. The world keeps getting harder. But so do I. I spend the entire morning in front of my beautiful new stone house doing nothing but swinging a sword at the air like a lunatic. From the outside, I probably look like a guy who lost an argument with an invisible opponent and is really committed to winning the rematch. But the mysterious void blade technique doesn't care about appearances. It cares about repetition. Swing, step, turn, slash, repeat. Over and over. Muscle memory building layer by layer like a human software update, installing in real time. By noon, my proficiency hits 88%. I can feel the difference. The blade doesn't just go where I tell it anymore. It goes where it should go. My body anticipates the next move before my brain gives the order. It's like the difference between typing with 2 fingers and touch typing with your eyes closed. Same keyboard, completely different experience. 12 more percent to mastery, and mastery gives me 2 more constitution points, which gets me to the magic number of 8, which unlocks the diamond body breathing technique. Every swing is an investment in not dying. During training, I spot a few animals passing through the area. Nothing attacks me. My shelter is in a pretty barren spot between the cliff and the open ground, so predators prefer the lusher areas. But I can see a steady stream of creatures heading east toward the river for water. Deer, wild dogs, some kind of mountain goat. A walking buffet, technically. I briefly consider setting up an ambush at the river. Animals have to drink eventually, right? But I'm carrying the Windchaser bow, and my archery skills are, charitably speaking, non-existent. Having an elite weapon doesn't help when the operator couldn't hit a barn from inside the barn. And I don't have time to learn archery on top of sword training. One martial art at a time, please. My brain has limited bandwidth. My stomach starts growling around noon with the subtlety of a foghorn. I head inside to check my food situation and immediately realize I have a problem. 10 dry rations, 10 water bottles, 10 sour fruits, 30 apples, 200 grams of honey, 1 Peking duck, 5 leopard steaks, 200 kilograms of flour. Sounds like a lot, right? Wrong. This morning's training session burned through calories like a furnace burns through kindling. My body is demanding food at a rate I've never experienced before. Back on Blue Star, I could survive on instant noodles and energy drinks for days. Now I feel like my stomach has become a black hole with an attitude problem. I heat up the Peking duck, the one I've been saving for a trade opportunity. Nobody wanted it. Every survivor I contacted either wanted something I wasn't willing to sell, or they offered resources I already had plenty of. So fine, I'll eat it. I deserve this. I fought a leopard in my underwear at 3 a.m. I've earned duck. The reheated duck isn't as transcendent as the first bite 3 days ago, but compared to dry rations, it's like comparing a Michelin star restaurant to eating cardboard in a parking lot. I devour the entire thing. The entire duck. A whole roast duck, gone in minutes. The old me could barely finish half a pizza. The new me just inhaled a whole bird, and my stomach is still sending complaint letters to management. Since when do I eat this much? What I don't realize is that the blood lingji I consumed isn't fully processed yet. My body is still absorbing its supernatural energy, and the sword training is accelerating that process. Every calorie I eat gets immediately converted into physical improvement. I'm basically a construction site that's burning through its budget 3 times faster than projected. The building is going up great, but the cost overruns are going to bankrupt me. The math is terrifying. If one morning of training costs me a whole duck, an afternoon session will eat through the leopard steaks. By tomorrow, I'll have no meat left. Flour keeps me alive, but it doesn't fuel martial arts body enhancement. I need protein. I need meat. And the trading market is no help. Xi Yang's survival broadcast this morning spooked everyone into hoarding food, and prices are skyrocketing like a cryptocurrency scam in its first week. I wasn't planning to go outside today, but if I don't hunt something soon, I'll be training on an empty stomach tomorrow. And training hungry is how you get injured, weak, and dead. In that order. Change of plans. Before heading out, I handle business. 200 shields are done on the workbench. The upgraded workshop pumps them out smooth and fast, and I list them on the market split into 2 batches. 100 at 20 wood each, 100 at 4 iron each. Diversified pricing because I'm a sophisticated merchant who understands market segmentation. Also because I need both wood and iron, and I'm too lazy to do separate listings. Now for the real mission. I pull the venomous king beehive out of my inventory, strap on my weapons, lock my beautiful stone house, and head west along the mountain base. The world outside my shelter is a completely different place than it was 2 days ago. Before the trial, the wilderness was almost peaceful, quiet, empty, like a nature documentary without narration. Now every shadow could be hiding something with teeth. Every rustle in the grass could be a snake, a wolf, or something worse. I walk slowly, carefully, scanning my surroundings like a paranoid meerkat. My progress is maybe a third of what it used to be because I stop every 20 meters to check for threats. Half an hour of tense hiking brings me to a slope leading up into the mountain. The mountainside is covered in dense forest, tall elms and poplars with thick canopies blocking most of the sunlight. The forest floor is a carpet of dead leaves and rotting branches, spongy under my new hiking boots. Oh yeah, I got hiking boots from a chest. My old sneakers were so destroyed they were basically foot-shaped sadness. The boots are a massive upgrade. It's the little things in the apocalypse. The deeper I go, the darker it gets. Sunlight filters through in scattered patches, creating a twilight atmosphere that's equal parts beautiful and terrifying. Every footstep crunches on dead branches, announcing my presence to anything within earshot. Not ideal for stealth, but it's not like I have ninja training. I'm a former shut-in stomping through a forest carrying a magic beehive. Stealth was never in the cards. Strangely, there aren't many animals up here. Some birds. A few squirrels giving me judgmental looks from tree branches. No large predators. Maybe the mountain forest isn't prime habitat for them. Or maybe they're all down at the river getting water. Either way, I'm grateful. Today's mission doesn't involve fighting. It involves recruitment. Of bees. Yes, you read that correctly. I'm hiking through a monster-infested mountain forest to recruit bees for my magical gladiator beehive. If someone told me a week ago that this would be my Wednesday, I would have had them committed. Then I hear it. That unmistakable sound. The angry electrical buzzing of a lot of insects. Bees. My face breaks into the biggest grin. Right side, maybe 50 meters ahead. I change direction immediately, weaving through trees. And there it is, a tree with a large hollow. And swarming around the opening are dozens. No, hundreds of hornets. Big ones. Yellow heads, black thoraxes with fuzz, yellow and black striped abdomens, and at the back end of each one, 3 distinct stingers. Bull hornets, also called 3-eye needles, because of the triple stinger setup. These things are basically flying syringes filled with bad intentions. On Blue Star, a single sting from these can send a grown man to the hospital. Here in the ruins world? I'd rather not find out. Lucky for me, I'm not here to fight them. I'm here to make them an offer they can't refuse. I creep to within 2 meters of the nest and set the venomous king beehive on the ground. Pour all 200 grams of honey inside as bait. Then I activate the hive's special attribute, the one that boosts bee attraction by 60%. The hive starts glowing orange, pulsing with an energy that apparently smells like, "Come here and live in luxury," to any insect within range. Step 2. Evacuate the tree nest. I pull out my wind chaser bow, finally getting to use this beautiful weapon, and knock an arrow. But this isn't a combat arrow. The tip is wrapped in cotton soaked in peppermint oil. My own invention. Peppermint irritates bees without killing them, flushing them out of their hive like a non-lethal smoke bomb. I draw the bow, aim at the tree hollow. Deep breath, release. The arrow sails through the air in a beautiful arc and smacks into the trunk next to the hollow. Misses the hole by about 6 inches. I stand there for a long, uncomfortable moment, deeply grateful that nobody witnessed that. My aim is so bad that if I were a stormtrooper, the other stormtroopers would make fun of me. In my defense, this is literally the first time I've fired a bow. In my prosecution, the target was a tree. Trees don't move. Trees are the easiest target, and I missed. If anyone asks, that was a warning shot. Second arrow. Adjust. Breathe. Release. Thwack. Dead center into the hollow. Perfect shot. Peppermint oil billows through the nest. The response is immediate. A cloud of hornets explodes from the tree hollow like someone opened a jar of angry confetti. Thousands of them, swirling and buzzing, furious and confused. The peppermint has them completely disoriented. They can smell something awful in their home, but can't find an enemy to sting. And then they notice the beehive. The beautiful, glowing, honey-scented, Tier 2 rare quality beehive sitting on the forest floor like a 5-star resort with a vacancy sign in neon. One by one, then in groups, then in waves, the hornets abandon their tree hollow and fly straight into the venomous king beehive. They can't resist it. A Tier 2 rare item's attraction power versus Tier 0 basic insects is like a luxury cruise ship advertising to people living in cardboard boxes. There is no contest. The bees don't even hesitate. They just move in, like they've been waiting for this upgrade their entire short, angry lives. 10 minutes later, not a single hornet remains outside. The tree is empty. The hive's counter reads 8,000 hornets, and it has automatically activated gladiator mode. The bees will now fight each other for 24 hours to determine who becomes the new queen. Survival of the fittest, Insect Edition. Battle Royale with stingers. The winner gets promoted 1 full tier by the hive's attribute, becoming a Tier 1 elite queen commanding a Tier 0 army. By tomorrow, I'll have a personal wasp military. A wasp military, with a champion queen, leading 8,000 angry soldiers with triple stingers. Zhang Biao has human followers he manipulates through fear. I have bees. I know which army I'd rather face. I chop down the empty tree, 6 wood. Thanks. Harvest the old nest, 500 grams of honey, score. And even find a wooden treasure chest hidden inside the hollow. System drops a loot box for clearing the nest. The system rewards hunting. It's literally incentivizing me to pick fights with wildlife. Good job committing insecticide. Here's some free stuff. The chest gives me 10 dry rations, a pair of hiking boots, already got some, but spares are spares, and a book called Beekeeping. For beginners, I get excited for exactly 1 second before realizing it's not a skill book. It's a literal textbook. With a suggested retail price of 9.9 yuan printed on the back. The Ruins World teleported a discount bookstore manual into a treasure chest and expected me to be grateful. Thanks, universe. Really helpful. I'll add it to my library, right next to How to Fight Leopards at 3 a.m., a memoir I haven't written yet. I pick up the venomous king beehive. Can't store it in inventory for long since it has living creatures inside, and continue hiking upward. The bee mission went smoother than expected. The sun is still high, and I've got time to explore more of this mountain. Somewhere inside the hive, 8,000 hornets are beating each other senseless to determine their new ruler. Democracy? Nah. Constitutional monarchy through gladiatorial combat? Now that's governance. Move over, Zhang Biao. The real warlord of this area carries his army in a box. I'm hiking up the mountain with a magic beehive in one hand and a sword in the other, looking like the world's most confused delivery man. My constitution is sitting at 6 without the shield bonus now, which is above average for a normal adult. So mountain trails that would have killed old me are basically a casual stroll for new me. Funny what fighting a leopard and eating supernatural mushrooms does for your cardio. A fat rabbit bounces across my path about 10 meters ahead. It freezes when it sees me, does that adorable bunny double take where its little nose twitches and then bolts into the bushes like I personally offended its ancestors. I want that rabbit. I want it so bad. Specifically, I want it in the form of spicy rabbit head, a delicacy I've been craving since day one. Sichuan style, numbing pepper, chili oil, the works. My mouth is already writing checks my hands can't cash because both my hands are full. Beehive in the left, sword in the right. Even if I had time to switch to the bow, my archery skills are so terrible I'd have better odds hitting the rabbit by throwing the beehive at it. And I need the beehive. So goodbye, rabbit. May we meet again when I have a free hand and functioning aim. But the rabbit does me an accidental favor. My eyes follow its escape route and land on something colorful in the grass, a patch of bright red mushrooms. Shallow red, brick red, orange red, all clustered together like a warning sign from nature. Every survival instinct I have screams, poison. Every internet factoid I've ever absorbed agrees. Bright colors on mushrooms means death. Do not eat the pretty fungus. The pretty fungus will kill you. But this isn't Blue Star anymore, is it? I use Isekai'd, half expecting the system to confirm my paranoia. Red umbrella mushroom. Edible. Nutritious. Delicious flavor. Unique taste. A rare delicacy. Edible. My entire worldview does a backflip. Bright red mushrooms that would hospitalize you on Blue Star are gourmet food here. This world doesn't follow Earth rules. Lesson learned, again. Stop assuming Ruin's world biology works like Blue Star biology. The system gave me Isekai'd for a reason, and that reason is, you don't know anything about this place, so check everything. I set down the beehive and start picking mushrooms like a man at a buffet, scanning each one with Isekai'd first because I'm paranoid and proud of it. 56 red umbrella mushrooms. That's 56 units of actual food, and nutritious food at that. Not dry rations. Not battery acid wild fruits. Real ingredients I can cook in my beautiful new kitchen. Mushroom soup. Mushroom stir-fry. Mushroom everything. The shut-in chef arc is approaching, and I am here for it. Mood elevated, I continue climbing for another half hour. Pickings are slim. A few sticks, some rocks, nothing exciting. I'm just about to call it a day and head back down when boom. A massive impact sound echoes from somewhere behind and to my left. Maybe 500 meters away. The ground practically vibrates. Something big just hit something solid. Every muscle in my body locks up. My face goes stone-cold serious in about half a second. Whatever made that noise is either very large, very angry, or both, and I need to know which before it becomes my problem. I find a tall tree, scramble up with the beehive, wedge it securely between branches where nothing will find it, then drop back down, strap on my snakeskin shield, and creep toward the sound like the world's most reluctant spy. 500 meters through dense forest. Every step careful, every breath controlled. I reach a massive banyan tree. Trunk so wide 3 people couldn't wrap their arms around it. Impress myself against it, slowly peeking around the edge. What I see is basically a nature documentary directed by Michael Bay. Center stage, a half-dead elm tree with a visible crack in its trunk. Circling the tree like a security guard made of bacon is a massive wild boar. 2 meters long, covered in bristly brown fur that sticks out like pine needles. This thing is basically a hairy tank with tusks. It's breathing heavily, glaring at the tree like the tree owes it money. I look left. Up in a nearby tree, crouching on a thick branch, is a mountain cat. Reddish-brown with dark spots, about 1.5 meters long, thick stubby tail, muscles coiled tight as springs. It's staring at the elm tree with laser focus. I look up. A brown hawk is circling overhead in slow, patient loops, eyes locked on the ground. Every few seconds it dips lower, faking an attack dive before pulling back up. 3 predators. 1 tree, all watching the same thing. I squint at the elm tree, trying to figure out what's so special about a half-dead tree that 3 dangerous animals are willing to have a standoff over it. And then I spot them. Tiny red fruits growing in the crook of a branch. Small, easy to miss, but apparently very worth fighting over. I can't identify them from this distance, but if a boar, a cat, and a hawk are all risking combat with each other over some berries, those berries are definitely supernatural. My entire body agrees. The moment the wind shifts and carries a faint fruity scent my direction, every cell in my body starts screaming, "Get those fruits." It's like my physical form has developed its own opinion on the matter, and that opinion is, want. So now there are 4 parties interested in those fruits. The boar on the ground, the cat in the left tree, the hawk in the sky, and me, a former shut-in hiding behind a tree, trying to figure out how to steal magical berries from 3 apex predators without becoming a meal. Here's the tactical situation. I can maybe take the mountain cat in a fair fight. Maybe. The hawk is fast but fragile. Arrows could scare it off. But the boar? The boar is in a completely different weight class. Back on Blue Star, wild boars were considered as dangerous as bears. This one is 2 meters of muscle, fat, and fury with tusks that could open me up like a letter. I'm a lightweight assassin with mediocre agility going up against a living battering ram. The math doesn't math. But I want those fruits. Think, Shinsei. You outsmarted wasps with fire. You outsmarted a leopard with venom. You can outsmart a pig, a cat, and a bird with what? I study the situation. The boar already rammed the tree once. That's what the crack is from. The impact sound I heard. It wasn't attacking the other animals. It was testing the tree, weakening it. If the boar rams it again at the crack point, the tree will break and fall. And the direction it falls is predictable, toward the existing crack. These animals aren't stupid. The ruins world creates intelligent wildlife. The boar knows it can't climb trees or fly, so it's using physics. Ram the tree, topple it, grab the fruits off the ground while the cat and hawk fight each other in the air. Smart pig. Terrifyingly smart pig. But here's what the pig doesn't know. There's a fourth player. Me. Positioned exactly in the direction the tree will fall. I sneak backward, exit the animal's detection range, then sprint in a wide semicircle to the opposite side. I end up behind a tree directly across from the boar, with the dying elm between us. If my theory is correct, the boar will ram the tree. It'll fall toward me. And in the chaos of 3 animals fighting over the fruits, I can grab them and run. It's the dumbest plan I've ever had. It's also the only plan I have. So we're doing it. I wait, and wait, and wait. My legs go numb from crouching. My knees send formal complaints to management. The standoff drags on like a loading screen for a game I can't quit. Then the scent changes. The fruit fragrance suddenly intensifies. It hits me like a wall, rich, sweet, intoxicating. Every fiber of my being vibrates with want. My eyes get slightly red. This isn't normal hunger. This is supernatural craving. Whatever those fruits are, they're reaching peak ripeness right now, and every creature in the area knows it. The boar makes its move. It charges like a furry freight train, head down, tusks forward, and slams into the cracked elm trunk with the force of a small car crash. Crack. The trunk snaps. The boar uses its massive body weight to ride the falling tree, accelerating the collapse. Several tons of pig and wood plummeting toward the ground, toward me. The mountain cat and the hawk launch simultaneously. The cat leaps from its branch straight at the falling crown where the fruits are. The hawk dives from the sky, talons extended. They reach the fruit location at the same time and collide. The hawk rakes 3 bloody gashes across the cat's back with its claws, using the impact to push the cat downward while rebounding upward toward the fruits. This is my window. I pull out the windchaser bow. 2 arrows. Aim not at the hawk itself, but at the space between the hawk and the fruits, its flight path. I release both in rapid succession. The arrows streak through the air like angry hornets, and the hawk, seeing 2 projectiles incoming at 30% boosted speed, banks hard to avoid them. It misses the fruits by inches, screeches in fury, climbs back into the sky for another pass. Bow away. Shield up. I sprint. The tree is crashing down in my direction, branches snapping, leaves flying. I spot the red fruits still clinging to a branch, rushing toward the ground. I reach them. I jump, kicking off a nearby trunk for extra height, stretching my right hand to maximum reach while holding the snakeskin shield over my head with my left because several 100 kilos of tree are about to land on me. My fingers close around the branch. I feel the fruits against my palm. 7 constitution points of desperate strength surge through my arm, and I rip the branch clean off with one brutal yank. Arm-thick wood, snap like a twig. Thank you, Bloodlingji. Thank you, supernatural body enhancement. Harvest. Inventory. I use both skills in the same breath. Harvest to separate the fruits from the branch. Inventory to store them instantly. The fruits vanish into my storage in a fraction of a second. Gone. Safe. Mine. I don't even check what I got. There's no time. Because THUD. The ground shakes. I'm still in midair from my jump, but I can already see it. The boar, charging directly at me. Its eyes are crimson with rage. It watched me steal its prize. It watched me take the fruits it spent an hour strategizing to get. It put in the work. It did the math. It rammed the tree twice. And some skinny human in hiking boots just snatched the reward from under its snout. This pig is going to kill me, and I am currently airborne with no way to dodge. So there I was, midair, smacking a wild boar on the head with my shield like some discount Captain America. Did it work? Sure. If by work, you mean I got launched backwards like a human cannonball and landed on my but several meters away. The boar stopped for like 2 seconds, shook its head, saw me already sprinting away, and went full tank mode. Behind it, the wildcat I'd just robbed joined the chase too, except it had 3 deep gashes on its back from the eagle earlier, so it was running a little wobbly. The eagle tried diving at me from above, but joke's on you, bird brain. I kept running under the thickest trees. Eventually it gave up because apparently eagles are too chicken to land on the ground. The boar chased me through the forest, literally smashing through trees like a furry bulldozer. But turns out, ramming solid wood at full speed hurts even if you're a boar. After a few tree meets face moments, it started slowing down. Meanwhile, I'm zigzagging through the densest parts of the forest like a terrified pinball. After about 15 minutes of the most intense cardio of my entire life, the crashing sounds behind me drifted off in the wrong direction. I collapsed against a tree, wheezing like a broken accordion. My lungs felt like they were filing a formal complaint. Once I caught my breath, though, my left arm decided to remind me it existed, and it was not happy. I poked it gently. No full break, probably just a fracture. Hurt like absolute hell, but honestly, I was grinning like an idiot. Stealing food from 3 apex predators? That's the kind of rush you can't buy. Then, snap, a twig broke behind me. I spun around, and there was the wildcat, because of course it tracked me all the way here. Jungle predator instincts, respect. But then I noticed its back was still a bloody mess and realized the only reason I even heard it was because its injuries made it clumsy. Normally, this thing moves like a ghost. It just stood there, staring at me, not attacking, which honestly stressed me out more because a standoff meant time, and time meant other animals showing up to the party, especially that psycho boar. So I had a genius idea. I pulled out the red fruit I'd just stolen, waved it right in front of the cat's face like, "Hey, want this?" and stuffed it back in my inventory. The smell lingered, though, and the cat's eyes went bloodshot. It pounced. Big mistake, kitty. I sidestepped, swung my tang sword right into those existing wounds on its back, and one clean hit later it was down. Its spine literally snapped in 2. 7 points of strength isn't much against a boar, but against an injured wildcat? Absolute overkill. I finished it off quick. No need to let it suffer. Looted the body, some damaged hide, 2 fangs, 3 meat cuts, plus a wooden treasure chest that I shoved straight into inventory without opening. No time for unboxing videos when you're bleeding in predator territory. I retraced my path along the highway of destruction the boar had conveniently smashed through the forest, grabbed my beehive from earlier, and booked it down the mountain. Passed a bunch of interesting spots and resource nodes on the way, but forced myself to ignore them. Wounded soldiers don't go sightseeing. Back at the shelter, I finally relaxed. Messaged the only doctor I know, Song Yarui from the survival group chat. No reply. Probably busy not dying. Check my shop instead. Every single small shield I'd listed, sold out. 2,000 wood, 400 iron. Beautiful. My inbox was. Something else though. One person offered me their used underwear for a shield. Someone wanted credit with 2 iron blocks. An alliance leader with 20,000 members tried recruiting me. And some guy called me a scammer because my shields cost more than swords. Buddy, everyone sells swords. Almost nobody sells shields. Supply and demand, Google it. Finally, the moment I'd been waiting for. I pulled out the red fruit I'd nearly died for, the whole reason for today's insanity. I needed to calm down first because my heart literally could not handle more excitement. The info screen popped up, orange-red mistletoe fruit. Rare quality. Boosts constitution and spiritual potential. I couldn't hold it in anymore. A superfruit, I yelled, alone in my shelter, like a lunatic who just won the lottery. Which, honestly, I basically did. 16 orange-red mistletoe fruits. 16. Not as powerful as that superfruit I got before. That one straight up added a whole attribute point. But quantity has a quality of its own, baby. I carefully tucked them into my inventory like they were my children. Can't eat them now anyway. Based on last time, The best move is to pop them while practicing my sword technique so the energy absorbs faster. Now, the moment of truth. Time to open that wooden chest from the Wildcat kill. Instant noodles. 24 packs of braised beef flavor, Red Elephant brand. And honestly, this might be the greatest treasure I've ever found. Better than weapons, better than armor. These things are calorie bombs, easy to make, and they taste amazing. But here's the real kicker. The seasoning packets have salt, sugar, MSG, star anise powder. In a world with zero industry, spices are worth more than gold. I haven't had salt in days. I was literally planning to buy some tonight on the trading channel. The chest also had a rain poncho and some cumin. The poncho probably won't survive the acid rain that's coming, and cumin is. Cumin. Whatever. Poncho goes to storage. Cumin goes to the kitchen for tonight's barbecue. Walking out of the kitchen, I got a notification. Dr. Song Yaroi finally replied. I explained the situation. Shield plus bore equals swollen arm. Sent her a photo. She walked me through a remote diagnosis, had me press around the swelling and describe what I felt. Her verdict? Probably a fracture, not a full break, but impossible to confirm without an X-ray. So basically what I already guessed, except now a professional confirmed it. Then she dropped the bad news. Don't lift heavy things with your left hand. Try not to fight. A second injury will make it way worse. My face went dark. No lifting. No fighting. In a survival world? That's like telling a fish not to swim. This could cost me my entire lead and get me eliminated. I started thinking about buying medicine on the trading channel, but deep down I knew. After last night's trial injured so many people, every healing item got bought out instantly. Anything left would cost a kidney. I was sitting there spiraling into doom when, ding, a trade request popped up. I opened it, and my eyes nearly fell out of my skull. Life water. Rare quality. Instantly heals minor injuries. Boosts severe injury recovery by 60%. The description literally says, yes, it's a small red potion. Rare ingredients. Complex craft. One-of-a-kind handmade item. A healing potion. An instant healing potion. This thing is basically an extra life in a bottle. Song Yaroi's message came with it. Take this. Heal up first. Pay me back later whenever. Just rub it on your arm. I'm not going to lie. That hit me somewhere deep. Since my parents died, nobody has ever just helped me like that. No strings attached, no angle, just pure kindness. She only had one bottle, and she gave it to a guy she barely knows. I said thank you. I didn't refuse it because I'm not stupid. Pride doesn't heal bones. But I also couldn't just take it for free. She may not want payback, but I'm not that kind of person. So I sent her a counter trade. 6 of my precious mistletoe fruits for the life water. I can only eat 10 fruits total anyway. So I had 6 extras I was saving to trade for something good. Well, this qualifies. She accepted without even checking what the fruits were. Classic doctor move. Helps first, reads the chart later. When she finally looked at the fruit stats, apparently her jaw dropped. 6 rare attribute-boosting fruits are arguably worth more than the potion. She admitted she got the better deal and even told me she had potion recipes she couldn't use before, but now with these fruits, she could activate some blueprints she'd been sitting on. Then she mentioned something wild. She has a special building called an alchemy table. Apparently, there are also things like pill furnaces and talisman rooms out there. I had no idea these existed. Never seen pills or talismans on the trading channel either, so either nobody's figured them out or the supply is so tiny people keep everything for themselves. I remembered I had an apple tree seed collecting dust in my inventory, so I traded that to her too. She offered to grow ingredients and split whatever potions she makes with me 50-50. Deal of a lifetime? I think so. We swapped some more intel, said our goodbyes, and I closed the chat. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to slather magic red juice on my arm because my brain is throbbing from the pain and I've had enough heroics for one day. I grabbed the life water and carefully rubbed it on my arm like the world's most expensive moisturizer. What happened next was horrifying. First came this itchy sour feeling so intense, I genuinely considered chopping my own arm off. Like, for a solid 3 seconds, amputation seemed reasonable. Then warmth flooded in, soaking through skin straight into the bone. And then, nothing. Everything just stopped. Pain, itching, all of it gone. Like it never happened. I made a fist. Nothing. Pressed hard on the injury spot. Nothing. Completely healed. My arm was back to factory settings. Today was a close call, I told myself. Gotta stop thinking I'm invincible and maybe keep some healing potions around. Unfortunately, Song Yerui's life flower won't bloom again for another 2 weeks, so no refills anytime soon. Anyway, no time to sit around being grateful. I've got construction projects. I walked outside and circled my entire shelter, measuring things out. The place is roughly 50 meters long, 40 wide. My plan? Surround the whole thing with a fence. But not just a cute little garden fence. I'm talking walls. I left 20 meters of space between the fence and shelter for a yard, and extended the north side 45 meters all the way to the mountain cliff. Got a plan ahead for farming and future upgrades. Back inside, I summoned the shelter core, this glowing orb thing that floats up to my chest, and slapped the fence blueprint on top of it. The blueprint dissolved into light, and suddenly a holographic 3D overhead view of my entire base appeared in front of me. Pretty sick, honestly. The system asked me to pick my fence dimensions. Standard is 1 meter tall, 1 layer thick. Boring. I cranked everything to max. 2 meters high, double thickness. Cost: 1,200 wood. My wallet felt that one. I confirmed, and white light erupted from 3 directions simultaneously. The fence literally grew out of the ground like a time-lapse video of a plant, except it's a massive wall. 10 minutes later, done. I walked outside and my jaw dropped. My shelter was now surrounded by a 2-meter dark brown wooden fortress, 20 centimeters thick, with small gaps between boards so I can peek outside. This isn't a fence. This is a medieval wall. Security level? Through the roof. One tiny problem though. The gate lock is basically a giant wooden plank that you shove upward to open from inside, which means once I lock it and leave, I have to climb the wall to get out, and climb it again to get back in. Minor detail, I muttered. Totally fine. Doesn't ruin anything. Nope. Next project, Arrow Tower. Same process, summon core, slap blueprint, holographic map appears. I placed it southwest, just right of the main gate. Strategic positioning, thank you very much. Cost: 100 wood, 100 stone, 1 iron. The white light did its thing again, and this time it was even faster. The tower basically speed-built itself, like someone hit fast forward. The finished tower has a 3 by 3 meter stone base, a wooden body about 3 meters tall, stairs leading up to a shooting platform, and an auto turret on top. Feed it wood, and it converts each unit into an arrow, automatically shooting anything hostile within 200 meters. The catch? 1 wood equals 1 arrow, and it fires once every 30 seconds. This thing eats resources like a teenager eats pizza. I grumbled, but still loaded 65 wood into it, because what's the point of having a turret if it's empty? That left me with 700 wood and 150 stone. From rich man back to middle class in one afternoon. But you know what? With a 2-meter wall and an auto-shooting arrow tower, I might actually sleep without one eye open tonight. That's worth every plank. Time to celebrate. Barbecue night. I checked my supplies. Got meat from that leopard. Got cumin from the chest earlier. Can make charcoal myself. Just need salt and a grill. Opened the trading channel and, for iron blocks for a tiny bottle of salt, that's basically the price of a whole shield. Salt costs more than weapons in this economy. I can't even afford seasoning. I bought it anyway because not eating salt will literally kill you, but I was not happy about it. The grill was actually cheap, stainless steel rack, for just 2 iron. It had been sitting on the market for 2 days because apparently nobody else has reached the leisure barbecue stage of survival yet. Their loss, my gain. Everything ready. Charcoal lit. Leopard steaks on the grill. The sizzling sound, the smell of meat and cumin filling the air. This is what surviving is all about. Not the fighting and running and almost dying this. Meat on fire. Right as I'm drooling over my steaks, the system pinged me. I've got most people muted, so if I'm getting a notification, it's one of my friends. Opened it up, message from Lu Xiaoya. But that can wait. The meat cannot. While I'm drooling over my sizzling steaks, Lu Xiaoya messages me. This girl went out and collected 50 units of cotton today. In a world where everything wants to eat you. She even got ambushed by a jackal and handled it by combat rolling away and javelin throwing it to death with the iron spear I traded her. Hardcore doesn't even begin to describe this woman. She asked for iron blocks as payment since she needs them for upgrades. Fair enough. I sent her 10 iron for the 50 cotton. Then I had a stroke of genius and threw in a piece of my fresh barbecue because, honestly, What kind of partner am I if I'm eating gourmet survival steaks while she's out there wrestling jackals? Don't be polite. We're partners, I told her. She went quiet for a moment and then just said, okay. I think I accidentally made her emotional with a piece of meat. Note to self. Barbecue is apparently a weapon of mass friendship. We kept chatting. Turns out her life before all this was rough. Parents who didn't want a daughter, constant scolding, paid her own way through school with part-time jobs since high school. She's stationed in some grassland area surrounded by waist-high grass she can barely clear. Meanwhile, I told her about my little adventure today with the boar-cat-eagle triangle of death, trying to make it sound cool instead of terrifying. Then she did something that completely blindsided me. She sent a trade request, her Juga repeating crossbow, a blue quality weapon, for 1 unit of wood. Basically giving it away. Your forest is more dangerous than my grassland, she said. You need this more. What is happening today? First Song Yarui gives me a healing potion. Now Lu Xiaoya is handing over her crossbow? Did I accidentally activate some hidden charisma stat? In 24 years on Earth, nobody besides my parents ever cared about me like this, and now 2 people show up in one day. I was confused. I could tell I'd somehow touched her heart, but I genuinely had no idea what I did. I was literally just being normal. But here's the thing. I'm not taking her crossbow for 1 wood. That's ridiculous. She needs range defense too. So I went to my workbench, spent 5 wood and 5 iron to craft 20 triple-edged arrows, and sent back a counteroffer. She saw me reject the original trade and immediately panicked. I'm serious. You need it more. I'm safe here. Girl, nowhere is safe. Calm down. I told her to check the new trade, my Windchaser bow, a Tier 1 blue weapon with 30% arrow speed boost and 300-meter range, plus 20 arrows, for her crossbow. She freaked out. Why are you trading a Tier 1 bow for my Tier 0 crossbow? Simple math, really. I can't shoot a bow. I literally tried today and couldn't hit anything. A crossbow is point and click. Much more my style. Meanwhile, she has a ranged ability that pairs perfectly with a proper bow. Win-win. She argued back and forth trying to refuse, but I shut down every attempt until she finally gave in. I could tell she wasn't happy about getting the better deal. She was happy that we helped each other. Two-way street. That's what real partnership looks like. I checked out my new toy while munching steak number 2. My appetite's been getting bigger lately. The Juga repeating crossbow, Tier 0, blue quality, 15-bolt magazine, 20-meter range, max damage at 10 meters. It's basically a semi-automatic medieval machine gun. Covers my mid-range gap perfectly. Only downside, no scope. If someone could slap a sight on this thing, I'd be unstoppable. But I don't have those skills and I don't know anyone who does. Loaded 15 bolts into the magazine, stashed 15 more as backup. Total cost, 3 wood, 3 iron. Bargain. Made an extra barbecue plate and traded it to Song Yarui too, because apparently I'm the neighborhood grill master now. She politely accepted. Cleaned up, set my level 2 workbench to auto-produce 50 torches and 300 small shields overnight. 2 jobs at once. Baby, that's the Tier 2 upgrade paying for itself. Shields won't be done until morning, but the torches will finish quickly. Then I hit the shower. Cold water. Because of course there's no hot water. This is survival, not a spa. Realized halfway through that I forgot to refill the rooftop water tank. Mental note for tomorrow. Got out. Cold wind hit me like a slap. Sprinted to bed. Dove under the covers like a man escaping a blizzard and opened the chat channel. After a day of fighting wild animals, almost breaking my arm, building a fortress, running a weapons shop, and becoming everyone's favorite barbecue chef. I just wanted to scroll through the chat and see what stupid stuff other survivors were up to. A man needs his entertainment. I opened the chat channel to unwind and immediately found gold. Some poor soul posted, "There's a cute little creature camping outside my door all day. I can't leave. I'm starving." The replies were incredible. Why not eat meat? There's meat right outside. Just eat bread. Don't starve yourself. That animal's probably hungry too. Why don't you volunteer yourself? Yeah. Then neither of you will be hungry anymore. I laughed out loud in my bed like a maniac. People are finally settling in enough to crack jokes. That's either a sign of adaptation or collective insanity. Either way, entertaining. The chat also confirmed something useful. Hunting animals can drop treasure chests. Someone bragged about raiding a rabbit nest and getting a wooden chest. The consensus is clear. The world wants us to go outside. Gather, hunt, get rewarded. Stay inside, fall behind, get eliminated. It's basically a corporate job with extra murder. Then, ping, someone replied to one of my buy requests. A guy named Wang Lei, gold-rimmed glasses type, looked like a polite bookworm. I vaguely remembered him being active in the regional channel on day one. His story was sad. He got tricked into joining Blood Fiend Alliance, that shady guild run by scumbags. Once you join, you surrender all your resources. They give you daily tasks, and if you don't finish them, no food. During the protection period, it was manageable, but now with beasts everywhere, collecting resources is a death wish. Today he snuck out, found a chest, got a blueprint, and decided he was done with those parasites. He quit the Alliance and wanted to trade the blueprint for survival supplies. Problem: everyone in the region is too scared of Blood Fiend to trade with him. Everyone except yours truly, the guy who already publicly told Blood Fiend Alliance to shove it. I saw you trash talk them in chat, he said. I know you're not afraid. Flattering. Let's see the blueprint. He sent it over, and wooden lounge chair blueprint. Materials: 2 wood. Description: perfect for sunny grasslands, camping trips, and leisure relaxation. A lounge chair. In a survival death world. This man risked his life, escaped a criminal organization, and his golden ticket is patio furniture. I could literally picture it. The excitement of finding a blueprint in a chest, the hope surging through his veins, then reading, lounge chair, and wanting to throw himself into the nearest beast's mouth. Poor Wang Lei. Honestly though, it's still more useful than that rickshaw blueprint someone's been trying to sell for days with 0 buyers. At least I can sit in a lounge chair. What am I going to do with a rickshaw? Start an Uber? I asked what he wanted for it. Food for 1 day, a shield, and a spear. He was going back out tomorrow. Respect the hustle, lounge chair curse and all. I gave him 5 rations, a small shield, and a freshly made iron spear. Before we closed the deal, he warned me. I left Blood Fiend, and they said they'd blacklist me. Trading with me might make them angry at you too. Oh no. The organization that already hates me might hate me slightly more. How will I sleep at night? Oh right, behind my 2-meter wall with an auto-firing arrow tower. I'll manage. Wang Lei added me as a friend and offered to spy on Blood Fiend for me. Free intelligence from a guy with good social skills who's motivated to help? Sure, why not? He also asked for some survival tips, and I gotta say, the guy has excellent conversation instincts. Knew exactly when to wrap things up without being told. High emotional IQ. I like him already. After that, I messaged Wang Zishuan to get the latest on Blood Fiend Alliance. Turns out they've gone full cult mode. Internal recruitment only, mandatory resource surrender, daily quotas, and they give members some mysterious, protective item that gets confiscated if you fail your tasks. Nobody knows what the item is because members sign a magically enforced contract that prevents them from leaking info. You can't even talk about it after quitting. Almost nobody leaves, because by the time you want out, all your stuff is already gone. You'd be starting from 0 in a world full of things that want to eat you. Something about all this nagged at me, like a puzzle piece I was looking at, but couldn't quite fit into place. What was I missing? The contract? The secret item? I couldn't put my finger on it. Meanwhile, Xiaohu was raging in our group chat as usual. That Zhang Biao is rotten to the core, and nobody listens to me. Lu Igua tried calming him down. Dude, you keep getting baited in the regional channel. Stop falling for it. Classic Xiaohua, fighting Blood Fiend in chat like a keyboard warrior on a holy crusade. Losing every battle, going right back in for more. Nobody had any real insider intel, so I dropped it for now. Listed my 50 torches on the market at 3 would each. Easy money. Then crawled back into bed. One last thing before sleep. Time to pull a card. Card synthesis eats mental energy, and sleeping recharges it. So bedtime is the perfect moment. Today's haul: lounge chair blueprint, a spy network, 50 torches for sale, 300 shields cooking overnight, and the knowledge that somewhere out there, a cult is hoarding resources and handing out mystery items. Not bad for a Tuesday. Bedtime? Nah. Gotcha time. I leaned back in bed and opened the trading channel, filtering blue quality items by price, lowest first. Found 4 perfect guinea pigs for my synthesis experiments, an electric toothbrush in a world with no electricity. Someone was actually selling this. I have questions. Warm stones. Basically magical hand warmers. Cute. Dark iron wood. Fancy lumber as hard as actual iron. Ice crystals. Frozen rocks that absorb heat and keep rooms cool. Recharge by leaving them in sub-zero temperatures. Nature's air conditioner. Bought all of it for 44 iron. Time to gamble. First pull. Crossbow bolt as the main material, 3 beast fangs as secondary. 70% success rate, 20% mutation chance. Hit the button, success. Got a Fong armor-piercing bolt. Blue quality, punches through armor and scales. Perfect ace up my sleeve for armored enemies. We're off to a hot start. Second pull, electric toothbrush plus 5 iron blocks. 70% odds. Boom. Black smoke. Failed. My toothbrush is now atomic dust. But plot twist. The synthesis furnace absorbed the residue and told me something incredible. Because of some mystical fusion between this world and Earth's will, the furnace has literally merged with my soul. It's now a talent skill that levels up by absorbing spiritual material from every synthesis attempt, successful or failed. Progress, 0.1%. So even my failures feed the machine. Every loss is technically a win. I've achieved financial cope at its highest form. Now for the main event. The big one. I loaded my Juga repeating crossbow as the main material, for ice crystals and 5 dark iron wood as secondary. Tested dozens of combinations first. This one gave me 85% success with only 20% mutation. Best odds possible. My hands were shaking. This crossbow is my primary mid-range weapon. If this fails, I'm back to throwing rocks at things. Confirmed synthesis. A massive chunk of mental energy got yanked out of my brain. My vision blurred. Sleep crashed over me like a tidal wave, and I nearly face-planted into the bed. I pinched my thigh so hard I almost screamed, but my eyes stayed locked on the furnace. Orange light. Orange. Light. Success. Ice-veined repeating crossbow. Rare quality. Orange tier. 15-bolt magazine, plus a brand new skill, Frost Arrow. Costs energy to fire an enchanted bolt that freezes enemies and cuts their movement speed in half. 5 charges, rechargeable in freezing temperatures. I picked it up and nearly gasped. The whole body had transformed to dark iron wood, jet black with deep blue frost patterns running across it like frozen veins. Heavy, solid, ice cold to the touch. This isn't a crossbow anymore. This is a magic weapon. My theory was confirmed too. As long as mutation rate stays low, synthesis enhances the main material instead of turning it into something random. No more, upgraded my sword. Got a pillow, nightmares. Science, baby. I wanted to do one more synthesis, but my brain was running on fumes. The crossbow upgrade alone drained 2 full spirit points. I collapsed into bed and was unconscious before my head hit the pillow. Next morning, pre-dawn, I was already standing in the yard with my Tang sword because apparently I'm a morning person now. The air had that autumn bite to it, and I was still wearing summer clothes like an idiot. Mental note. Buy winter gear tonight before I freeze to death in my sleep. Warmed up, then ran through my mysterious void sword technique. By the time I finished one full set, I was drenched in sweat with steam literally rising off my head. I looked like a human kettle. Then, training boost time. I popped one of my precious mistletoe fruits mid-practice. 1 bite and OH. My God, best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. Juicy, sweet, absolutely divine. A hot current surged from my stomach into every limb, and I immediately started swinging the sword again, cycling technique after technique to absorb the energy. 1 set, 2 sets, 3, 4. I lost count. When the heat finally faded, the sun was directly overhead. I'd been practicing for hours. My clothes were soaked through multiple times over, and my stomach felt like a volcano about to erupt. Not from nausea, from hunger. Absolutely psychotic, feral, animalistic hunger. I sprinted to the kitchen like a starving wolf. Inhaled yesterday's leftover barbecue in 3 bites, still hungry. Then crushed 2 portions of dry rations on top. Barely hit 70% full. This sword technique is turning me into a competitive eater. Dry rations don't cut it anymore. I need meat. Premium meat. I glanced at my meat cabinet. 3 blue quality steaks left. Someone in chat mentioned premium meat can permanently boost constitution. True or not, tonight we're grilling again. Even if it doesn't boost stats, at least I won't be starving. After eating, I finally noticed the smell. Hours of sword practice had turned my clothes into a biological hazard. I could probably weaponize this odor. Shields first, then shower. Priorities. Went to the workshop, grabbed all 300 shields from overnight production, listed them in 4 batches at the usual price. Then I crafted 5 wooden buckets, grabbed my gear, and climbed over my own 2-meter wall because, as previously established, my genius fortress design requires me to scale the wall every time I want to leave. Security, 10 out of 10. Convenience, -3. The walk to the river was peaceful. My shelter's in a quiet spot. Most of the vegetation and animals prefer the south side where the grasslands and forests are thicker. Predators follow prey, prey follows plants, and I follow the path of least likely to get eaten. The river was teeming with little fish now. My immediate thought? I need a fishing net. Filed that away for later shopping. Since there wasn't another human being within several kilometers, I stripped down and took a bath right there in the river. Full wilderness shower. Zero shame. Nature is my bathroom, and the fish are my audience. Filled up all my wooden buckets afterward, hauled them home, bought a 3-wood ladder from the trading channel because someone designed a shelter with a rooftop water tank, but no way to reach it, and spent 4 trips climbing up and down pouring water into the tank. Finally full. That should last a while. Famous last words in survival situations, but whatever. Check my shop. Every single shield? Sold. 2,000 wood, 1,600 stone, 320 iron, 20 glass. I'm basically running a medieval Amazon warehouse at this point. Set the workbench to pump out 450 more shields because this gravy train won't last forever and I need to milk it dry. For the level 3 shelter upgrade, I've got enough basic resources, but I'm still missing 2 blueprints. One is a resource building. Those exist, people have seen them. The other is an altar blueprint, and literally nobody has found one. Every alliance in the chat is offering massive bounties. Either nobody has it, or whoever has it is keeping their mouth shut. Smart. Anyway, afternoon mission, go hunt some animals and find treasure chests near the shrub area. Fast forward several hours. I walked back to my shelter with the expression of a man who just watched his lottery ticket blow away in the wind. 0 kills. 0 chests. Nothing. Every single animal I spotted was basically a ninja. The moment I raised my crossbow, gone. Vanished into the bushes like they had motion sensors. Rabbits, birds, whatever, they all had pH-to-level threat detection. I couldn't get close to anything. I sat at my table and had a long, hard conversation with myself. You got cocky, Shinsei. You beat a wildcat, robbed 3 predators, built a fortress, made thousands in trade profits, and thought you were hot stuff. Today the wilderness said, sit down, boy. This was a wake-up slap. Hard. I'm not a veteran hunter. I'm a former shut-in who got lucky a few times. The real world isn't a video game where you click a mouse and loot drops. Animals are smart. Resources aren't guaranteed. And overconfidence gets people killed. I grabbed a piece of charcoal and started writing on my living room wall like a crazy person planning a heist. Priority list. 1. Food. Need enough stockpiled to survive the acid rain event. This is life or death. 2. Clothes. I'm still wearing summer athletic wear, and it's getting cold. The trading channel has winter coats listed at 9,999 wood. That's not a price. That's a declaration of war against poor people. 3. Water. The river's clean for now, but acid rain might contaminate it. Need to store extra water indoors, just in case. Everything else, getting stronger, upgrading gear, that can happen naturally. No rushing. Looking at my wall chart, I felt better. Clear goals, no more winging it. Then Lu Xiaoya messaged me, and I could practically feel the excitement radiating through the screen. I have good news and bad news. Which do you want first? This was not the Lu Xiaoya I knew. She's usually blunt as a hammer. Short sentences. Business talk. 0 small talk. Now she's doing the good news, bad news bit. Something big happened. Bad news first, I said, playing along. Pain before pleasure. Bad news. I can't sell you cotton anymore. Then she went silent. Just sitting there, waiting for me to beg for the good news. This girl was savoring the moment like a cat with a mouse. I deliberately waited extra long before asking, just to mess with her back. She actually started panicking, thinking I was genuinely mad. When I finally asked, she hit me with the reveal, premium cotton clothing blueprint. Makes high-quality winter clothes with superior insulation. Materials: 5 cotton or wool, 2 cloth or animal hide. I literally just wrote, "Need winter clothes," on my wall 30 minutes ago, and this woman shows up with the exact blueprint like she's reading my diary. Lu Xiaoya, you absolute angel. We spent the rest of the chat strategizing like two Wall Street sharks. The plan: start slow, trickle out a few premium coats while winter clothing prices are sky high. Hunger marketing: make people desperate. Then use the profits to bulk buy raw materials, hides, cloth, wool, and stockpile for when temperatures really drop. That's when we flood the market and become the winter clothing monopoly. Her short-term mission: harvest every cotton plant near her shelter before the acid rain hits, while selling just enough coats to fund her operation. Before signing off, she traded me 2 cotton outfits and added, "If you're really my friend, don't refuse." I couldn't argue with that logic. Standing there holding warm clothes I desperately needed, I had one thought: making friends is literally the best survival strategy. Why was I ever a loner? Sprinkled some precious salt on a premium steak, fired up the grill, and opened a message to Wang Zishuan. Because I just had a very interesting idea. First order of business tonight: get Lu Xiaoya into the squad. I messaged Wang Zishuan, told him I've got a solid partner with great resources, and, oh yeah, a winter clothing blueprint. He didn't need convincing. If you trust her, that's good enough. Send me her name. Done. Lu Xiaoya joined the group chat. I introduced her, kept it brief. Welcome our new member. She's got cotton, grass, and a clothing blueprint. Everyone say hi. Lu Yang's first message: welcome new classmate. I sell iron. So, do you have a superpower? I literally facepalmed. This man has one setting, and it's permanently stuck on. Inappropriate. Everyone roasted Lu Yang for a solid minute, then did proper introductions. Good times. Wang Zishuan suggested we do our resource exchange early since everyone was online. He kicked it off with a banger. He found a water purifier blueprint. Needs plastic as material, so everyone should save their plastic for him instead of selling on the market. Huge deal. Those things go for 1,000 wood on the trading channel and are permanently sold out. Then Lu Igwa dropped his news. He can make beast traps now. Only catches small animals. Success rate isn't amazing. 2 iron each. Not glamorous, but exactly what I need after today's humiliating hunting failure. If I scatter enough traps around, statistics say something has to stumble into one eventually. Give me 5, I said instantly. He recommended using wild fruit as bait. Noted. Everyone swapped resources around. Song Yerui scored some medicinal seeds. Xiaohua sold a bunch of animal hides, which Lu Xiaoya snatched up immediately for her clothing operation. She's now been commissioned to make premium cotton outfits for the whole group. Our little survival circle is turning into a proper economy. I noticed Xiaohua had a lot of animal hides to sell, which means he's actually been hunting successfully with his ability. But he didn't sell any meat, so he's probably eating everything he catches. The guy's feeding himself through combat. Respect. After the trading session, my premium steak was ready. 1 bite, and oh sweet mercy. This was on a completely different level from regular meat. Rich, juicy, crispy outside, not greasy at all, and my stomach filled up with this warm glow like I'd swallowed a tiny sun. 1 premium steak filled me up as much as 2 regular ones.